Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Samantha and Butler are here. The fish are here. It's a glorious day. Welcome to it. I sound like a minister there. This is the... Hold on, I'll do it like this. This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it.
I'll plug real quick. We've got a promotion going on currently with True Leave. We've been doing this for months now, but True Leave actually gave us these new camo mesh back hats that they actually sell in the store.
They do.
But you can get one for free if all you have to do.
Grab the rest of them.
Yeah. It's all you have to do.
It's a great hat.
To get one of these True Leave camo mesh back hats that are super good quality.
You're already going there and purchasing, so why not just submit your receipt for a free hat?
So if you have your recommendation, which if you don't, by the way, go to trueleave.com. Just look at their physicians, everybody gets it. Don't worry. And then I'm just telling people,
Tom Dan guaranteed.
You will get it. I've
you'll
never.
Be fine.
No one. Have you heard of one person getting denied? I have not. Not one person has ever emailed me or told me.
Even if you do, just go to a different doctor.
Yeah. You get a refund. Anyway.
Yeah. If you use DocMJ,
Go to True Leave, purchase something, and then on the front of the BDM page or tomanddan.com, you'll see get a gift from True Leave. You click on it. There's a form real quick. We're not sharing this with anybody. We're showing True Leave. Like, look how many are listeners. We'll go to True Leave. You put your address and a picture of what you bought, and then you get a hat.
Easy breezy.
We'll mail it to you, plus a bunch of other Tom and Dan stuff that comes with the hat.
We got stuff.
So it's all free, mailed to you, and all you have to do is buy great THC products that True Leave offers, which I shop there all the time.
If you like. If you like.
I'm a big fan of their 10 milligram capsules. I love them. They're perfect amount. And when you start with them, I mean, they may little, but then it's
I'm fine. I'm a 50.
But now my tolerance,
I'm a 50 milligram indica myself, and
they got 50s,
and I like their sunshine. I like the sunshine cannabis. Yeah. That's the true stick. But you'll have to go in there and talk to them, and they're all extremely knowledgeable and will educate you. Now, we're in the middle, like smack dab in the middle of not in the middle. We're smack dab in the middle of beginning a brand new year.
Yes.
But with a brand new year comes brand new songs.
Oh.
And I know what you're thinking. Daniel, you wrote a brand new Weird Job Wednesday song. And the answer is no, I did not. But the reigning champion of the best Weird Job Wednesday theme song from our award show of 2020 wrote a song.
Yes.
Kenny has big balls now. I'm going to start calling Big Balls Kenny. Big Balls Kenny.
He won the award.
He won the award. He poofed out his chest like a banty rooster. He emailed me. Now he won't stop emailing me. So I'm going to ask Kenny to politely ease up on the emails, Kenny.
He knows. I mean,
he's got a taste of the fame.
Does he know we were clowning? Okay.
He's got a taste of the fame.
Okay.
He cannot be stopped. We have our Weird Job Wednesday on the line, ready to go. I haven't even heard this because I wanted to be surprised because you guys know that I'm a massive fan. Dare I say, the largest Kenny fan in the studio. Here is the newest Kenny submission to Weird Job Wednesday.
Hey everybody, I'm going to sing my own theme song. Here we go.
So now he's just doing my songs.
We want to hear the work that you do, but first I'm gonna tell you about your job, so I'll prove that I know more than you ever knew. Dan thinks that you are witty, I think that you're shitty. Sam's got tiggle bitties, Butler's mind is like my kitties. I know I could perform your job, 2 weeks and I'll do your job. I can tell you are a fat slob, all our listeners are fat slobs. I'm saying it's time for Weird Job Wednesday. We wanna know how much money you make. It's your favorite bit, Weird Job Wednesday. There's only so much interest Tom can fake.
It's the falsetto, like when he goes, when he starts singing.
I wanted to hate a kitty, but it made me smile.
He naturally smiled. Now, I will say,
tired today, so that's
Kenny, I'm just going to throw it out there. It is your weakest submission. It is. But it's still great.
I'm surprised we never did.
It's like going to CC's Pizza. It's like all the pizzas are equally horribly, wonderfully bad. But that mac and cheese pizza,
yes,
that's
I was going to say the mac and cheese pizza.
That mac and cheese pizza, we know it's bad, but it's just so good.
I'm surprised there's never been a weird job, Old Town Road.
No, I did. Remember,
Yeah.
I did
Oh.
Old Tom Van.
Oh,
And then
yeah.
Kenny probably forgot about that and then did this.
That's
And
right.
that's
We've been
why,
doing it.
it doesn't matter. On line one is Chuck.
How you doing, Chuck?
Hey guys, how y'all doing?
Good.
Chuck, you didn't
good.
have time to listen to that baby nonsense earlier, right?
Dude, I love that.
Oh, okay, good. All right,
By the
Kenny,
way,
see?
StreamlineFlorida.com for your refinance or mortgage, everything.
Indeed.
So, Chuck, you're going to talk about an old prior job of yours because you're currently a truck driver, right?
No, man.
You sound
I'm
like
a-
a truck driver. Hold on, let me guess.
Hold on,
guess.
I'm
Hold
going
on.
to guess. Just on your voice.
You are a mechanic.
You're close.
Oh, wait, hold on. You are a forklift driver at an Orchard Hardware.
I've driven a forklift before, but not now.
Oh, he heard the forklift.
I can hear it. I can hear your left ankle.
What do you do now, Chuck?
So I'm a AC man now.
Oh, AC man.
AC man. Those of us in Florida would tell you thank you for your service.
What do they call that an HVAC? I never like that.
Yeah, I don't like
Yeah.
that either. 'Cause I'm like,
Maybe
what do
a
you
shop
mean
vac.
HVAC? What is that? Because people say Jesus H Christ and then Jesus H vac.
I think of shop vac.
I do
too. I don't know. It diminishes it for me.
HVAC.
Like you need something. You know
To
how
me, it sounds like a little bit like vaccine, but a little like something a gynecologist would do. HVAC.
you like.
Oh, my wife went in for the HVAC. They sucked the baby right out. Like, I don't know. Like that's what it sounds like.
When you work at like Foot Locker or Home Depot, they call you a sales associate. It makes your crappy job sound fancier.
Subway sandwich artist.
this guy
you
could
know.
be-
You need like if you work at ACs, calling yourself an HVAC, it makes it sound worse for whatever reason. I don't know.
You should be a microclimate technician.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
I like that, yeah.
what is your former job we're going to talk about?
So formerly, I was a gravedigger.
Oh, I love
I
Gravedigger! So much better. And while we're on the topic, F maximum destruction. Can we all just
I agree.
agree on that finally?
Here, I don't mind maximum destruction. What I mind is the all the spinoffs, Max Fire, Max Ice.
Yeah.
Because they had
Max D. He just went by Max D for a little while. I'm like, don't go Max D. That's like when KFC went to, or Kentucky Fried Chicken went KFC.
So Gravedigger. Now, what year was this, Chuck?
So this would have been 2000 to 2004 before I got fired.
Oh, how do you get fired from digging graves? Ooh, you got to be bad.
So let's talk about this because the only information or idea I have about gravediggers comes from old-timey movies and cartoons when every gravedigger had a lantern and it was
Disney,
it was two skinny goofuses.
Well, it's usually it's
90s.
usually a skinny guy that's like, I mean, this guy's got AIDS. He's so
Yeah,
skinny.
yeah.
And then the other guy's like a shorter, portly fella.
Yeah.
And then they have a hound dog with them.
Yeah.
And they have a lantern.
Yeah, and their lantern is on the end of their shovel, and they're digging it by shovel, and it's the middle of the night.
Middle of the night.
And so is that any accuracy? Is there any accuracy to that?
Were you the short guy or the tall guy with AIDS, and did you have a hound dog?
Well, I was the fat, taller guy.
Oh, you were a hybrid. We call those a hybrid.
So in in 2000, how do they dig graves? Yeah.
All right, so digging graves, you go out there and you mark off where it's going to be. And there's lot lines, like for your house, and you go out there with a backhoe and you dig a hole, between 4 and 6 feet deep. Put a vault in there and you bury them and you sing and dance. Everybody's happy at the end.
Okay, back up, Chuck, because you simplified it too much. Because to me, I'm fascinated with the details.
How long does it take to dig a hole for a grave?
I don't know.
All right,
Tom's
so
digging one right now, explaining this man's job.
So the time it takes to dig a grave, you're talking somewhere between 20 minutes and an hour and a half, depending on how hard the ground is, if there's rocks, and that kind of stuff.
That sounds kind of fun. I don't think that's that bad.
Do you work for a specific cemetery, or do you get to travel around a different? Are you
like
contract worker?
Yeah, 1099. You go around.
So when I started doing it, it was more of those I needed a job. I saw an ad in the paper type thing.
Wow.
The job was I was like a mobile maintenance worker, I guess you want to call it.
A
And
groundskeeper.
I would, what I was doing is back in the 70s and 80s, some of the cemeteries in Brevard and Indian River County, people were burying people. They were just like throwing like a football, and where it landed is where grandma went. So, with that being said, all the vaults, the headstones were not in lines with the lot line. So my job initially was to go and move the headstones in line, and then eventually we dug up the vaults and moved them back in line where they all went.
I was going to ask you that, Chuck, because it seems like, okay, we've talked to Don Price every year for years about Greenwood Cemetery, and we interviewed him about the cemetery. There's only a set amount of space in most cemeteries, like there's no more or whatever, or like, you've got your acreage.
What you got is what you got.
Yeah, and so I imagine organizing all the plots exactly to where they're supposed to be is important. And if one of them off, it's like you're doing pavers. If you get one paver off, then down the line it's all off. And so I've
seen that before, and man, it drives me crazy.
So then when you actually have to find the plot, do you use like the similar tools that like, when the county workers look at like property lines, they use, like what Ross used to, what are those guys called?
Surveyors.
The surveyors.
Yeah.
They use survey equipment. Do you have to use survey equipment to get the exact location of each plot?
So what happens first is there's a map drawn up. And like our cemetery, what they did is they brought in a ground penetrating radar, and they ran over everything underground and got a picture of what's there. So then we brought in the survey guys, and they did a real good survey and made all these pins that we had to put at certain intervals. And essentially, you just take a piece of string and run between two pins, and that gives you one line, and you have pins going the other direction.
Right.
Now, to give you where it's going.
That's exactly, by the way, what Don Price said that UCF would do when they were moving some of those. I think they had to move some of the Confederate soldiers or Union soldiers. They were basically doing some upkeep, and they had to use that satellite imaging or whatever you want to call it, X-ray imaging.
Well, it's a thing. Like basically, it looks like a pressure washer box that you go over the land.
It's like that thing that pool guys have that they never use.
On the back of the truck.
Yeah, on the back of the truck. That rusts their truck out.
Exactly.
So now, Chuck, when you're moving grave sites and caskets, they make some caskets, like I know certain religions, they have no bottom to the casket, so your body just goes back to the earth. And some caskets are made of wood that I imagine...
That's called the Porky Pig casket.
The wood caskets, I imagine, would just disintegrate over, I don't know, if it's like 80 years or something. So what if you dig up some remains and it's just dust and like, do you try to...
you just act like you didn't see it.
Do you try to get all the dust or what? I mean, or all the vaults and caskets made to last for, how long do they last?
All right.
I don't know.
So, you're partially right. So, whatever Google site you read, that was.
He didn't read anything.
I like the shade you threw.
Chuck, how dare my Google site? That's my brain.
I like that.
I'm always partially right.
Yeah.
Remember that, Chuck.
Himself, Tom
Remember. That's what they're saying. My goddamn, what are they called that you put in the newspaper?
Well,
I'm tired today.
My God.
The best part
when you die,
the best part of what happened was I had to point out to Tom that Chuck insulted him on the end of that. And Tom was like, "Hold on a second, how dare you?"
It'd be Tom Van, partially right.
And tired.
So, tell us.
All right. So, the typical vault in Florida is going to be like a septic tank looking thing. It's a big concrete box with a like a seal on the inside, and then your casket goes down inside that. So all the stuff that comes out of you during your decomposition kind of gets trapped in that vault. Okay.
I didn't know that. So at the bottom of most graves is a concrete. Basically, like you said, vault that the casket goes into.
I didn't know that
I
either.
thought it just lowered into the ground.
Yeah, there's actually like a concrete liner down inside there.
I don't want that. What would happen if you just put me in a large, what's that company that makes the ceiling stuff? I use it at the house, and I can't think of it today. I must be tired, too.
the foam spray?
No, the bags that you, like...
your vacuum seal? Food saver?
Okay,
Yeah.
you put me in a big food saver bag.
Yeah.
And you zip me. That's how I want to go. And just put me in the ground zipped up. I want to see how long I'd last. And then when I start...
That's called murder.
Then when I start getting gooey... No, I'll be dead. And then when I start getting gooey and poofing up, everything will stay in there, right?
So is that some sort of legal thing? Every grave needs a vault, like a concrete vault? Or can you opt to just be put in the ground with a wood casket or a biodegradable? So it just, you just turn back to the earth.
As far as I know, the law in Florida is you have to be in a vault of some sort. So there's another type of vault called a GSV. And it's essentially like a polypropylene butter dish. It's got like the flat part on bottom, then like a lid that comes down and snaps on top. So those things leak like crazy. But yeah, you do have to be in some kind of vault. Certain religions have to be buried within 24 hours of death. So those are kind of thrown in the cheaper vaults to get in the ground quick that you have on site.
Gotcha. So when you're digging a grave, I'm guessing in the 2000s you're using a tiny backhoe or some sort of equipment, right? You're not using shovels.
I was using a Case 580, which is like a medium-sized backhoe.
Okay.
Now, do you have to do like edge work like a barber? Do you have to like use the backhoe for the big stuff and then get in there with a shovel and like make sure it looks good?
Yeah.
All right, so when I worked there, after I got hired on by the actual company, I became the manager of maintenance, which is digging grave, putting all kind of stuff. Being the manager, I had the authority to hire whoever I wanted. So being a 19-year-old party kid, I hired my brother and two of his buddies to come work there.
Nice.
Yeah,
I ran the backhoe, made them get down the holes and clean up all the edges, make them look
This
decent.
is like a Broken Lizard movie, right?
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
Like they own a funeral home, 19-year-old party kid.
Now, I've been to funerals before where I'm standing there, everybody's sad, and then I look off into the distance, and the maintenance crew with like the equipment is just standing there waiting for everybody to disperse, so then they can fill in the hole. And then I find that off-putting for whatever reason because I'm like...
Well, one guy's scrolling on his phone, he's, checking the scores of the game.
Because it's like, everybody's sad, we're here, but in the distance, they're just waiting to bury the body because they do this all day, and they're very nonchalant.
Like working vultures.
So do you... So did you have to do that where you just stood off in the background waiting for the funeral to be over so you could get your job done?
Watching Quibbly or...
Yeah, so we used to kind of like sit off, like, we had a lot of woods behind our cemetery.
Go hide in the woods.
I was about to say, these maintenance crews need to hide somewhere or get
Just
someone...
give them ghillie suits so they at least blend in
Don't let the family see you 100 yards in the distance just waiting with a shovel.
Yeah, can't you give them like a hut, like a bus stop that they all go into with a little door, a TV, and they're like a Jiffy Lube waiting room.
It's like,
Page me when you're ready.
Yeah.
It's like when you're at an event and someone else is waiting to use the bathroom, you get anxiety, you want to hurry up.
I hate getting too close to the door when you guys are using the bathroom, but then I feel like I need to get in line because then if you don't, people will snake you.
So you'd hide in the woods. Were you cognizant of like, hey, I don't not let the family see us?
No, I didn't really care.
Or would you look at the family and then do a V with your fingers and go, ah?
So, I mean, like, every once in a while, if she was cute, I would.
Come on, man.
So,
we were told about you, Chuck.
We
knew this was coming.
We were warned that you have questionable taste.
A little bit, yeah. So, no, like during a service, you were respectful and you would stand back out of the way, kind of in sight, but not there.
Tuck in your ICP shirt, bro.
Well, don't stand in sight. I'm just saying, what does it matter? Like, you just wait until every car leaves.
You're standing there with an Insane Clown Posse tank top on, tucked into your gotcha shorts.
Did you ever have, like, every once in a while in movies, then they lower the casket.
Oh, one of the straps will break.
Yeah, then it falls.
Oh, and then grandma's legs fly out of the casket. You got to tuck her back in.
Did you ever have any weird things like that happen?
Yeah, we did have one time a man died. He was probably 25 or so years old, and the mother was having a real hard problem with it. He was sitting on the lowering device, or the casket was sitting on the lowering device, and the mother kind of like laid on the casket, and it broke. And the lowering device like broke, and the casket fell down, and she fell kind of in the hole, but not all the way in. So we had to kind of deal with that and calm everybody down. That was kind of
Oh my God! My God!
terrible.
This is like a grieving mom falls
Yeah,
into
you're
her
like,
son's
Fell
grave.
it in. Wait, there's a mom in
You can
there.
imagine all the people like, oh, like they're screaming.
Oh, my boy!
So
Dirty fell in.
So then you fill in, like when you actually start putting the dirt back onto the grave.
You put your earbuds in, you put Disturbed on. You start filling it in.
Is there any sort of like you're being like with the first couple scoops, like
Ginger.
you ginger, or do you not care?
Because sometimes
Is
people
that-
toss the dirt. Isn't that thing?
Yeah, that's a tradition.
I've never done that, but I've seen people do that. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, I don't want to be a part of that.
Everybody tosses
Yeah.
a handful of
Plus,
dirt.
I'm not getting my hands dirty just because you died.
Which is it's some sort of tradition. So how does that work when you fill in the grave?
Yeah, so the version you've got sounds real pretty and nice. The real version of what happens is there's a big farm tractor that has a dump trailer on the back, about the size of like a dump truck bed. And you just take the dirt out of the hole, put it in that, and then when you fill it, you just back the trailer back up and dump it out. Sometimes the families did want to take like the handful of dirt and throw on the vault. So you would make available a small amount of dirt next to the grave site.
We
Ah.
put
They chose to do that.
I took the liberty of taking some of the dirt and putting it inside of a Qdoba cup.
I think, I mean, if you're going to do some symbolic handful of dirt, just go ahead and get a shovel. Just fill the whole thing.
Yeah.
In your
Well, just
suit
let me
and your
do
shiny
Let me
shoes.
get in the truck, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Let me get in the truck and pull the lever, and I'll dump the whole thing.
Have you ever dug a
Let me toot the
grave
horn a couple times.
and buried a casket in the wrong site and
Oh.
then figured it out later?
Yeah,
and
and
do
you're
you
like,
tell the
uh-oh.
family guy? How does that work?
Well, I'm not working there anymore, so I can't get in trouble for it.
I don't know if that's true.
So that means you did.
I mean, you could say that, but you could be arrested.
I stole all the jewelry.
we-
I was gonna ask that
Yeah,
question.
I stole everything they had, and the younger, the father that was there, I choked him out in the bathroom. I cut his body up and hid it under the church.
I have 10 dead man's Rolexes.
I have a boiled head under my bed.
So
Oh.
I'm a little bit medicated, so I forgot what.
Did you ever dig the wrong grave in the wrong place, Chuck?
Yeah, what are you doing?
Yeah.
We knew about you.
It is 11:30 and you're already drinking a Mike's Hard Extra. What's wrong with you?
We ain't drinking, man. So anyway, I didn't bury him in the wrong hole, but I did put the wrong name on the wrong grave one time.
Oh.
Like there's kind of like
a Sharpie. Why are you in charge of putting names? I thought there was like an engraved headstone, or, you know.
Well, you put the
Well,
wrong.
the engraved headstone's not there at the time of death. That takes a couple weeks to a month to get that. So we had like these little plastic plaques that you would put down in place of it while you're waiting. Well, there was two of them, bodies put into a mausoleum actually, and I put the wrong plate on the wrong door. That became a huge problem with the family. They were freaking out, and of course, when you put the wrong name on there, then they assume the wrong person's in there. So then we got to open it up and prove Grandma's grandma.
Oh no!
Oh, man.
I feel like
You gotta prove. Why
I
do
just
I
take
need
your
proof?
word for
Yeah,
it.
it's like, I don't care where she is now.
So they wanted to open it up and like look at.
Hold on, that may be a replica of her. I'm gonna have to undress her.
Yeah, they actually had us open the crypt up, pull the casket out. The morticians came down, opened the casket up, verified it was the person who's supposed to be in there.
How do you verify it?
No,
Dental records? or-
No, I think you just
Well,
look.
you,
Well, I think they're
you
still
look at a
fresh
picture
corpse.
and look at the person's face.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I
but
don't
yeah,
know.
something's
Somebody,
off.
hey Jerry, get it. Does this look like Mrs. Gertrude to you?
So our final.
Oh God, her nose fell off. Oh
final
God,
question,
put it back
Chuck.
in there. Stuff it back in there.
So
Oh God, seal it up. Put some tape on it. Oh God. Oh God, she's leaking. Oh God, I got it on me.
So what do you make as a gravedigger in the early 2000s?
So I was making about $18 an hour, and I was living at home with my grandma at the time, so I had no bills at all.
Fresh meat.
So I mean, it's not great money, but for a 19-year-old kid, that's ridiculous money.
Pretty damn good.
Yeah.
It's more than I make.
It seems like
Yeah,
it
it's not
wasn't that hard, right? Digging the hole. I guess there's some complication.
20
with
minutes
making
to an
sure-
hour and a half, he said, tops with a backhoe. That's
How
not
many
bad.
did you have to?
Yeah, well,
One a
the
day?
real good part was all that dirt we took out of the ground. You always have extra dirt. So if you've been to a cemetery, you've seen the maintenance guys riding around on the gators, the mules, and all that kind of stuff. So I used to take that dirt out back in the woods. We had 20 or 30 acres of just land out there. And I built all these jumps to jump the gators and the mules over.
There we go. Man, that's like an awesome punchline.
You took the grave dirt and you built jumps with it.
So he's like a real gravedigger.
I like that's basically Florida. I take grave dirt and I
get
build
lemons,
jumps.
I make lemonade. I get grave dirt, I make gator jumps. When life gives you old people dirt, make some jumps.
All right, Chuck. Well, we appreciate that. It's pretty interesting. Is there anything new that they do? Basically, just do it the same way they've always done it, or you have no idea?
Well, they have
now?
those tree bags now. Doesn't your wife want one of those, where they
Oh,
put you in a
God.
bag with a
Yeah.
seed,
I have-
and then your body becomes like a mush goo, and it like.
It's too much work. I'm
Yeah.
just gonna do the standard. Or whatever.
Why are you going to be alive?
Oh yeah, why? I just
She's going to put you in a tree bag. I'm going to make sure.
Don't let her put me in a tree
I'm going
bag.
to make sure she does. I'm like, wait,
Chuck,
put it in a tree bag.
Don't let the crow put me in a tree bag. Just burn me up.
Burn me.
You've got my instructions.
I'm just going to burn your legs, and then put
He
your.
doesn't dig graves anymore.
I'm going to.
Well,
Chuck,
I'm just telling everybody I
Yeah,
can.
okay.
Chuck, you're the winner. I'm going to hang up on you, okay?
All right, then.
All right,
see you,
buddy.
Chuck.
Great job, man. Hey, I'm going to burn your legs off,
Okay.
and then I'm going to put your torso, your trunk, I'm going to put that in the tree.
no.
Happy meeting.
Okay, all right.
Happy you get a little bit of burn, a little bit of tree bag. Everybody's happy.
You know what?
Because if I'm still alive, Andrea and Crystal will still be friends.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
but chances are I won't be alive.
No, you'll live because you'll.
Hey, put me in your tree bag so I'll have a friend when I pass over.
I've told you before. You'll detect any small problem that you ever have. So
Well,
you'll
apparently we've got black mold in here, and I didn't detect that.
yeah, but it's only with your
Samantha
body.
did.
Yeah. But you'll detect it and then you'll catch it early. Me, by the time I'm like, ow, this hurts at stage 5.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
it's like it's done. So
You look bad.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
only
yeah.
weigh 66 pounds.
So you know what? Scratch that. Do whatever's the most complicated for everybody involved because I want to leave a legacy of a pain in the ass.
Well, how many bones are in your body? Because I could put each bone in a tree bag and create a forest.
yeah.
A forest.
Yeah. Put every bone of mine in a tree bag, and then I want it planted in all 50
Why do
states.
people care about that? That's a thing, right?
You know what? I'm gonna leave super pain in the ass instructions. Like every
Oh,
one of my
man.
bones, all 50
I
states.
I want a tree in every state with one of my bones in a tree bag.
The skull in Hawaii, like the heart.
No, the
biggest-
skull we're gonna skydive
Okay, yeah.
into the blue hole.
Oh yeah.
Like
Belize,
you're
yeah.
in Belize,
And then scuba dive.
and then I'm gonna
down.
go to Bora Bora, rent one of the huts.
Yeah. I need a McAfee.
Yeah, then I'm gonna
hammock.
put your skull through the hammock hole
Yeah.
onto the chest of the maid, and
yeah.
then I'll bury you in sunken treasure in Bora Bora
there it is.
in
Yeah,
a
yeah.
scuba area to scare people when they go down there.
Write that down, Samantha.
That's actually not a bad idea. I take your skull.
Yeah.
Follow me here. I take your skull to Blue Springs.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
swim down to the sign where it says "Don't go past here." And I put your skull
yeah,
there.
yeah.
That would literally make people freak the f out.
Yeah. Because they're like, oh, what happened? I'm like, how did he make it here? And they're like, it's right at the end. But I guess you put
He tried to turn back, but he died.
kick it back until it gets, so at least it's a little believable.
Norm in our Twitch chat room, and he probably thought I let this pass during our Weird Job Wednesday, but I cannot. He said that one time he shaved one of his eyebrows off for free CC's pizza. and I made a mental note.
Why?
That's the worst thing I've ever. I made a mental note. I seriously.
Why did you
that
do
was
that,
like an
Norm?
hour ago. That was like an hour ago in
Was
the chat.
that a radio promotion?
That was in the chat. I made a
Oh my
I just
God.
wanted to let you guys know. I made a mental note of how horrible that was.
All right. We got a guest next, so bye-bye.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Dan.
I'm Tom.
Samantha, our producer, is here. Butler's in the other room. Tony is currently on assignment. I'm going to start saying that. Doesn't that sound good?
Yeah, it does.
We have a cool guest. We don't have a lot of children on the program, or young people, I should say. I shouldn't say children.
Not familiar with her age.
Well,
but
I'm
I was
allowed to.
assuming.
I think I'm allowed to say that because I'm a dad, right? Like technically, I think when you're a dad, it marks a time in your life, and it allows you to say that. Then, with that time marked, you lose all ability to tell the age of anybody that's younger than you.
Yeah, well, I think once you're over 40, you can start referring to people as young man and young woman.
Yes, that's
like
true.
A young woman over there.
Yeah.
No matter if they're just younger than you.
But there are a couple things that Tom and I are passionate about. Like we, as new dads, and I still use that term because we both still get off on the fact that, we love our kids. It's super fun. Parenting has become like a new part of our program. But with that, my daughter loves the dancing. I know your boy, Max, he loves the dancing. Maisie loves the singing. She's doing a little singing and dancing. I've heard Tommy sing before. Young people performing, that's the thing that happens. And young people performing at the Dr. Phillips Center is quite the honor. So the Young Star Musical Theater right now, they're putting on Peter Pan. And I don't know if you guys know this, Tom. The first piece of musical theater I ever saw at Stetson University in DeLand, Florida. My mom took me to see Peter Pan. Sandy Duncan, the actress Sandy Duncan, played Peter Pan, and they flew her through the rafters.
Really?
It was the first thing I ever saw. But on the line with us right now and performing in said production is Sabina Ramirez. Sabina, how you doing?
I'm great.
So, Sabina,
were we right? You're a young person, right? Sabina, you're not as old as Tom and I. I'm 44. You are not 44.
No, I'm 13.
13. There we go. There we go.
By the way, Sabina, I feel like you've accomplished more at 13 than I did by the time I was 27.
Well, I'll explain for those of you not watching on Twitch.
Didn't do much.
Sabina is dressed to the nines in costume with a Zoom presentation that rivals better than any comedian we've ever had come in here. She looks like $1 million.
Yeah.
She's attentive, was on time, ready to go, better than any adult comedian we have had in here during the pandemic, and she's ready to go. So, Sabina, I appreciate you being on the program, and thanks so much for being on here and talking to us a little bit about what you guys are doing at the Dr. Phillips Center, January 16th and 17th, performing Peter Pan.
So, Sabina, is it true that Peter Pan's been a play and been performing for over 100 years?
Yeah, that's true.
That's crazy to me. Like, I didn't think the story was that old for whatever reason. I didn't think it was 114 years old. Like, in my mind, I was like, oh, it came out in the 50s. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Like old
Disney took a lot of old stories and made them into movies.
I know.
Well, you're only thinking of that. Now, Sabina, you actually play Peter Pan?
Yes, I do.
And now, do you, like, what were some of the things that you had to do? Like, when you were... did you, obviously you had to, I'm guessing you had to audition and perform and do like a monologue to see if you were going to get the part?
Yeah, and I had to dance and I had to read lines and sing.
Do you also have to do wire work? Because in all the Peter Pan plays that I've seen, there's always, like, just like Daniel said, the quintessential Peter Pan flies around the stage, and that, he has to use wires, and usually...
Is that something you do?
Yeah.
Yes, we are going to be flying.
So, did you have to train for that? Did you have to go to some sort of gymnast camp or some sort of, like, a circus?
How does that...
Performer
What
camp?
entails that?
Mostly we just practice with the harnesses on. We haven't really gotten a chance to fly yet. But next week we are going to fly.
Now, when you do,
That's
because
so cute and so cool, man, and you're gonna be really brave to
By
throw
the
that.
way, she is playing Peter Pan. She's the star of the show.
No, I know that's what I'm saying. You throw in that harness at 13
Slitting the
years of
listeners know.
age and fly through the air. I mean, is it at all scary doing that, or is this something that you really and truly enjoy?
I'm personally really excited to fly.
And Sabina, I don't know, did you see that Super Bowl with Lady Gaga a couple years ago? I don't know if you watched that. But
when she was on the wire.
Yeah. Lady Gaga jumped off the top of, what was that? Was that Miami?
Well,
I don't know.
It might have been, but here's the thing. I think Sabina's got a leg up on everybody because she's a kid. No offense to Lady Gaga, kind of an old lady, right? When you're trying to fly on a wire and you're an old lady, it's not going to look the same as, Sabina playing Peter Pan.
But I want to bring up because there's an art to flying on especially the two wires. I'm talking the quintessential, the wires that are attached.
We have brought this up 3 times this week. This obviously bothers you.
Yeah. I'm very passionate about wire flying.
Tom is going to tell you something he's very passionate about wire flying.
So I feel like when you fly in the wires that are the 2 wires that are attached to either side of your hips, right? That's the quintessential ones, and then
the swivel. Sabina, is that how your harness is? Do you have wires on your hips?
Yes.
Okay.
So I feel like there's an art to that because we've all seen like America's Funniest Home Videos when they try to do like obviously not Dr. Phillips productions, but like a high school production where the kid accidentally falls forward and then is upside down and can't right themselves.
Right.
So they're like swimming in the air and then they're just flying upside down. Yeah. And
have you done any of that, Sabina?
No, hopefully not in the future. Hopefully not now.
See, she's really good. I can already tell.
But I just feel like there's an art to being able to like fly with the harness and make it look smooth. That's all I'm saying, and not awkward.
Balance yourself.
So I don't know about you. What I'm hearing is that you're offering to show Sabina how to properly fly.
It's like,
we also have to sing. But
oh yeah, he won't be doing that part. No. Now, when you're getting into character, when you're going out there, when you're the adversary of Captain Hook, and what do you channel as a young actress? What kind of give me a word that you would use to describe your creation of your presentation of Peter Pan.
Tough and boastful.
All right, that's great. Those are great adjectives. I like that.
And so...
Oh, I so want my daughter to be like Sabina and get into musical theater, my God. It would be a dream of mine.
What's the hardest part? Because I'm sure as a lead actress,
it's a lot of pressure, man.
When you're in a play, there's one particular part of the performance that is the quintessential, like the hardest to get, and they usually look up to that. And
great question.
Once you
like
get
the climax of the show,
or something, some sort of move or song or something that's hard, and then once you get past that, then it's like all clear, smooth sailing. Yeah. So, is there anything that's the hardest for you and to perform during the show? Yeah.
There is a 7-minute long dance called Ugglewug. It's very hard.
7 minutes of dancing is hard for anybody.
Oh, yeah.
We cast choreography. We just kind of stole it.
Yeah. And Sabina, you strike me as a person that doesn't get nervous performing anymore, and I think that helps with your age too. Like I just think
she'll overthink it.
Young actors and actresses, like because they don't overthink it and because they don't have all the baggage of adults and stuff, like I feel like they don't get nervous, and you're getting a pure performance.
Yeah. Do you get nervous when you go out there?
Yes.
Oh, really? But you use a nervous energy to in your performance?
When it comes to the acting, yes. When it comes to singing, I kind of forget everything. Yeah. Which is not fun, but...
Well, it makes sense. You go into, it's probably like singing. I don't know. I'm not a singer, but I imagine it's second nature, and then you just go into, it's kind of like driving. You forget where you're going.
Yeah, there's got to be a weird psychology behind that, because even when I did musical theater with my mom, like she would like do these productions, the lines I could remember, but when I'd go to sing, I'd black out. Like I would, like there's got to be something there. It's almost
like a muscle memory thing. Yeah. You just go into the performance. So Sabina, you said that, well, first let's plug January 16th and 17th at the Dr. Phillips Center.
Best venue in town.
Yeah, get your tickets now.
2 p.m. show, 7 p.m. show. And again, it's Peter Pan, January 16th and 17th at Dr. Phillips.
And Sabina, what do you think age range wise? Like my sons are 5 and 6. You think this would definitely, because they love, and I got a question for you. So they love Hook, the movie Hook.
Yeah.
And now that's kind of
an
interpretation of the original Peter Pan. So, but it doesn't follow the story exactly.
No.
So does traditional Peter Pan enthusiasts like or dislike Hook because it's their own interpretation of Peter Pan?
I haven't seen it.
No,
I knew when you were asking that you were shooting way over it. I knew it.
Yes.
And I was so happy that you might as well have asked her, like, what is your opinion of a rotary phone? Or,
I just thought that,
when you were young, did you use floppy disks? Like something like that. Well, Hook is a variation of it. But I would say that you don't need to go revisit Hook. You're too young for that. You have a bright.
That's so good.
But she has a bright future ahead of her, and
she's a Peter Pan traditionalist.
And the biggest mistake we could ever tell our youth is to tell them to go back and watch old movies.
Well, ours is not the Disney version; it's the Broadway version of Peter Pan, so it's a little different. But
yeah,
gotcha.
It's definitely a more thorough telling of the Peter Pan tale.
Well, Sabina, congratulations on being, the star of the show.
Yeah, thanks for the time. And we don't get to talk to too many young people on the program, but we certainly appreciate you being on the air.
Thanks for having me.
All righty, well, take care, and hey, break a leg.
Thank you.
Right, you did the right thing. I was about to say good luck, and that's bad luck.
I think it is. I don't really fully understand the.
I was gonna start asking her what's cool nowadays.
Yeah, I can feel it on the tip of your tongue.
But Samantha told me, she's like, just stick to the script.
Then you start trying to get the.
You went off script with wire flying.
Well,
I looked at the script and again,
Samantha's like, it's not called wire flying.
I don't know. Then I'm like, you see Hook right now? No,
I knew it.
She wasn't even born when that movie came out.
Well, my son saw it.
Wasn't even born. That movie's 55 years old. I mean, movie, when everybody that was in that movie, including Gina Davis, is dead, right? I think.
But don't search what happened to Robin Williams. It was sad. And then there's other dementia and all the other stuff is real bad. Yeah,
I mean, don't ruin her young mind.
Almost the part after the really finality of his was the bad part. When you read about the other stuff.
Right.
And then I was kind of like, I see what I see. I get it.
Yeah.
And then I was like, that's like me. I was like, I get it. Sorry, is that too real?
So it's always been female, like young girls play Peter Pan.
Traditionally,
right? So has that always been like that?
I don't,
because I wonder if they had a problem with it, in 1920.
I'm sure there are boys that have played that. I remember thinking as a kid when my mom took me to see the Broadway version of Peter Pan, starring Sandy Duncan, this same thing that Sabina is starring in. I remember thinking as a young boy, that's weird. And I remember asking my mom, why are they having a girl play Peter Pan? And my mom was like, well, because a lot of the songs are in a soprano's register. You're gonna need,
and like at Disney and stuff, it's a girl because they have to hire adults, but they have to look like a young boy. So they hire
and the highest. If you were a man, saying like even with my voice being higher pitched, I'd be a tenor. And even as a tenor, I don't think some of the songs I would have been in my register. So a lot of times I think because of the singing, the dancing, and just the overall, you wanted him to be slight. Because he was supposed to be very like a thin, almost like a fairy-like young boy.
Yeah. I wonder if, because Peter Pan's story is 114 years old. I mean, so there was times they were performing Peter Pan, I'm guessing, on stage using a small girl to play Peter Pan.
Sure.
I wonder if Peter Pan, I don't
know, over 100 years ago, they might not have let women on stage.
Yeah. Well, maybe not 100,
but I'm saying some young man.
Right. I mean, even you were 60 years ago, you split the difference.
Okay.
And then, but it's like, I wonder if Peter Pan was any sort of symbol for a person whose sex is questionable. You know what I'm saying? Like it was. Is Peter Pan the first character?
No, it is used for eternal youth because there's a gentleman that took on the persona of Peter Pan. You look up Peter Pan, man who dresses like Peter Pan, and you'll find this guy's website. You remember this guy? And he's obsessed with Peter Pan.
Yeah.
You and I, this is when we would get bored doing the morning show. We go, hey, go to that Peter Pan guy's site and see what he's up to.
Great.
Look at him. He's dressed like a fairy. He's flying around.
Randy Constant?
That's him. Yeah. He's got the little boy haircut, and he dresses like Peter Pan. This guy was viral before viral.
Yeah.
And he is not gay.
But
he is married to a girl who dresses. He calls her his Tinkerbell. This guy's just obsessed with Peter Pan.
Now,
eternal youth, man. Be a kid forever.
Samantha, you know the story, right? Mm-hmm. Better than me, at least. So the Island of Lost Boys, there was
Don't talk about that.
They're
still investigating that.
It was only boys, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And they all
Did
had,
they
like-
address why or where the Island of Lost Girls is?
Yo, don't talk about that either. Oh, you don't want to know where that is.
I mean, eventually Wendy got there, right?
Is it, Sam?
And
You're
Tink.
you heard about that one on the Island of Lost Girls, aren't you?
Yeah.
Like-
Actually, it kind of does
Yeah,
tie
that's
into
what I'm
this.
saying. Yeah, it ties right in.
And did
human trafficking.
So, and Tinkerbell had more power than Peter Pan, or equally equal power?
More. I feel.
I think she gave Peter Pan the magic.
No, she gave the dark. What's the family that the family
Wendy and
the
forgot
kid with the top hat.
everything.
Wendy, the kid with the top hat,
And
the
then
kid with
there's
the teddy bear,
The fat kid that rolls like a bowling ball.
fat kid, top hat kid, Wendy.
Who's the fat kid was called Thunderbomb or something, right?
Thunderbomb.
Thunderball. Something like that.
Thunderball?
Yeah.
I believe his full name is Hulk Thunderball Hogan.
It's something like that. From Hook, at least. So then,
We're not doing Hook.
why doesn't
Don't stop. Take Hook away.
Why does Peter Pan only have the powers, but the other Lost Boys
do.
and Rufio, they don't got any powers?
No.
We're not doing Hook.
Those are ground.
Rufio's not in the original Peter Pan.
Those are your ground troops.
Okay.
Peter's your air support.
All right,
you got to
yeah.
think in
Him
military terms.
And then Tinkerbell. So, but the other boys didn't want to grow up too, just like Peter Pan.
Right.
But Peter Pan's the leader. How did he become the leader?
Well, he's greedy. Once you become leader, you don't want anybody else becoming leader, so you hoard all the pixie dust.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
Think
like,
of the pixie dust as oil.
Is this
According to the original Peter Pan, he used to appear in a novel called The Little White Bird. And it says, Peter is a 7-day-old baby and has flown from his nursery to Kensington Gardens in London, where the fairies and birds taught him to fly.
As a baby?
The old story gets real weird.
Yeah.
My God. I got to tell you, if I'm out front here, vaping and I see a baby fly by, I'd be like, man.
I'm just wondering, it's like, I understand Peter Pan.
Oh, that's sad.
Huh?
The author of the original novel based the character of Peter Pan on his older brother David, who died in an ice skating accident the day before his 14th birthday. His mother and brother thought of him as forever a boy.
Oh, my God.
Oh, wow. So Peter Pan was a ghost the whole time. This is like Sixth Sense. This is like Sixth
We
Sense.
just cracked the code, guys.
It's always some horrible atrocity.
Yeah, it really is.
That's why he can fly as a ghost.
And then my wife last night was asking me about Pinocchio for some reason, and
Oh.
Geppetto, she's like, Geppetto made him boy, and then they turned it into a boy for him? And she's like, what's the legality on that? Did they change his name to Pinocchio, and then Pinocchio took Geppetto's last name? And I was like,
Tinkerbell's in
Andrea.
there, too, right?
No, that's Jiminy Cricket,
No,
you
Jiminy
dum-dum.
No, but Tinkerbell comes down
No,
in Pinocchio,
Tinkerbell
right?
does not come down in
No?
Pinocchio. No. Ain't no Hook.
He wishes upon a star, right?
Yeah, then Jiminy
Yeah.
Cricket sings a song.
So Jiminy Cricket is the Tinkerbell in that one.
Well, I mean, he's the smaller magical character, I think.
I'm just wondering why, okay, Peter Pan was a young boy in London. And then
7 days, he flew naked to the birds and the fairies. They taught him how to fly.
Was his uncle the crazy one with the marbles, lost his marbles? No, okay. So anyway,
Butler
so
said no Hook.
he wishes upon a star to never grow up, and then Tinkerbell brings him to the Island of Lost Boys.
No, you're confusing.
You're mixing things.
Yeah, you just took Pinocchio to the Island of Lost Boys.
Oh, no.
Yeah, you're doing a
went to a
crossover.
terrible
Hold on,
Island.
in the okay, so
Are you
only in
doing
Hook.
are you doing what comic book nerds do? And you're just like, but wait, it's a different universe, and Pinocchio lives on the Island of Lost Boys.
In the actual original Peter Pan, there is no Island of Lost
The
Boys.
Blue Fairy is who you're thinking of. Neo Del Rio.
I feel like we've done a lot of bad after this interview.
Dr. Phillips Center, Peter Pan.
Why did you become Bill Cosby? Dr.
Don't talk about Bill Cosby.
Yeah, but that's what you go, Dr. Phillips.
I hope
know, I
Sabina's
should've asked-
classmates are not listening to
I should have asked Sabina. Well, then of course I'm not listening. They don't know.
They turned it off as soon
I'm
as her
not sure.
Skype hit end.
She has no idea what she just did.
No.
She was like,
No.
"What is this?" And like,
They're two old guys just screaming at me, and one guy's obsessed with Hook. He's literally obsessed with Hook.
is this a webinar? She doesn't know what a webinar is.
A webinar. We don't even know what a webinar is.
What does she think it is?
What does she think she's
doing? She definitely doesn't know it's radio.
She thought she did radio.
Does she know radio?
Yeah, because at the end she was like, "Thank you so much," and then she looks at her parents who know what radio is. I could see them. And he looks at her parents and she's like, "Did I do good with the old guys?"
Yeah. And then the dad knows, like, I saw drunky jump. Yeah. I'm glad. I'm glad he made something of himself.
I guess they landed on their feet. If you want to call it that.
Yeah, but he has no concept. And podcast now is too so old for her.
Yeah.
It's in between.
This is probably
the dad doesn't know what podcasts are.
But she probably doesn't know what Twitch is, right?
Yeah, but not for old men
but she's
talking.
For gaming.
Yeah, she's like, you guys play Minecraft?
Yeah, we might as well have asked her, you like ham radio?
Oh, by the way, I've been watching Tom and Dan on Minecraft. They're great. And my sons will love them.
Best.
They love them more. They're like, let's watch Tom and Dan. And then again, I'm like, oh yeah, the Minecraft. And
you get disappointed because you think your boys want to watch you on Twitch, but they watch the Minecraft guys from London, right?
And they're young, but they're younger.
They're
than
witty
that.
too.
Yeah, they're talk back and forth, and then like, who is doing this for them? Are they doing it themselves? Like, who's putting this up?
I think I'll put some blocks over here, Tom. Yes, Dad.
They built an airplane. They built like in a whole cities, and then
what are your boys still chopping the creepers and just running around in circles? Or are they building?
No. Now they're in the building. They're trying to find a diamond axe because they're like, we need stone, and we can only.
Oh, so now they're working. They're grinding.
Yeah. So they're building the things, and then. Mainly for 2 days straight, they just built a one long tall column, like
to heaven.
400
Heaven's
bricks.
Gate. They built a heaven's
They
gate.
jump and put bricks until they ran out of bricks, and then they just jump off to the death, and they did that for 3 days. And I watched that crap. And I'm like, something.
So your sons in Minecraft built a structure to the stars, and then they get on the top of it and then commit suicide.
Yeah. Then they go and chop it all down and one by one and build it back up. Yes. And then I'm like, God. Yes. And then the other, like, there's like a ruins of old tall structures that they commit suicide off of. And I'm like, their whole stupid city is suicide structures.
It's like the Japanese suicide forest.
Yeah, that's all it is. And I'm like, build a house, do something. The Tom and Dad built a jumbo jet. Can't do nothing.
Oh my God, I'm crying.
All right.
I hope they never build anything. I hope they only build suicide machines. It's so cute and funny.
Stupid. All right. Stop. Welcome to Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Samantha, our producer, is here, and Butler's in the other room. We have a big show today planned for you, and I use the phrase planned with air quotes.
Loose.
Yeah, it's a loose plan.
If you guys are looking to get a new roof, I want to tell you about a promotion Secured Roofing and Restoration is doing right now. They're offering up to $500 credit back to you if you get a full roof replacement.
Yeah, even if your insurance company's taking care of that.
Yeah, they'll give it to you in a Visa card. Yep. But you could also use a credit towards the gutters. But just contact them. They're doing this for Tom and Dan listeners only right now. So even if you got friends or family looking for a new roof, it's easy too. You can go on their website, securedroofingandrestoration.com, and right on the front you can apply for a free estimate. And this is a double whammy too, because if you basically apply for the free estimate,
I love a whammy, but a double whammy.
I knew it right when I said it.
Now the triple whammy, I'm just gonna say it.
You know I'm tired.
I've had a triple whammy a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little too much whammy.
Too much.
I end up sliding that third whammy out and just finishing the double.
Right.
And when you apply for the free estimate, we'll send you a free Tom and Dan hat.
Yes.
And in the mail.
Man, we're lousy with hats
yeah,
over here.
We're giving away a lot.
We buy merch, and then we just give it out to everybody.
So it's, you do the math. You can get multiple estimates from other roofing companies if you want. I'm telling you, Secured is great, and we talked
to the owner, like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And look, I'm just telling you.
You're getting a super quality
call
service
them,
and
talk
product.
to them, make it known that you heard it from us, and get some top quality roofing service.
And take advantage of that up to $500 credit.
Indeed.
All right.
Speaking of things that I like to put on top of buildings, that didn't work the way.
Yeah. Our buddy And I gotta ask him about some gambling
Now,
stuff.
put that at the end.
It's a
Put that
playoff
at the end, ladies and gentlemen. He is a YouTube influencer. He just hit 5,000 plus subscribers on the YouTubes.
Is that the like level you have to get to be considered an influencer?
I don't know. I just called him that because I know he went from 0 to 5,000 rather quickly. But this guy's always at the theme parks. In fact, he can show you around the theme parks, and he's going to talk about the times that he's been on game shows. It is our very good friend Joey Mazant. How you doing, man?
Really good, man. Thank you so much. It's always an honor and a privilege to be on your show. Thank you.
So, Joey, first, let's talk about...
like a senator. Did you hear that?
No,
My God, he's got the grace of a senator.
So, I've seen, I follow you on social media, and I've seen that you were trying to achieve a goal, and then you hit the goal. Now, but you also had a viral video that got 1 million views. So let's talk about all that. What... I mean, I have to look at so many papers and paperwork, and I have to talk to so many.
It's all papers here.
It's all. You see the papers. Yeah. I got all the papers.
We have the best papers.
I got that. Someone said, and so I don't get a chance to follow or actually look at all the content.
Our digital life is actually quite small, considering the fact that our papyrus life is to the. I mean.
So I don't know what you do on your YouTube channel. I've seen you do some singing. I don't know what else. So
I see a piano now and then.
What is it, Joey? What is it?
It's the big thing for me is every time I talk to you guys, we normally talk about the theme parks because it's one of my big career. It's my passion. It's what I love to do. I love going to the theme parks. So it just made sense that if I'm at the theme parks every darn day of my life, I might as well record it because there's a lot of random cool stuff that happens. And it just so happened that one day I'm at the theme park and I love a good beer. So I'm hanging out at Universal Studios. I'm at Duff Gardens. And I had a Duff Light. And once you have a couple of beers, you see the carnival games, and you think to yourself, I could win that stuffed animal. It can't be that hard. And I got lucky, and I won a giant plush Duff beer. So still riding the buzz, having a little bit of fun, I saw Homer Simpson, and I walked over, and I offered him the beer. And you know how the Universal characters are. They're phenomenal. You give Homer Simpson a beer, what do you think he's going to do? He drinks it, he crushes the can, he throws it at Bart. And Universal Studios shared that, and it went from 1,800 views to 1.1 million views.
Wow. So,
oh my God. All from a dad throwing a beer can at his son. And I think if I can do that, I can slam a beer at Disney and then crush the can on Maisie's head, and I'll be tased, and then I'll be segued out of the park.
By the way, Joey, are you like hanging out by yourself? It's like because Joey has more fun than I'll ever have in my entire life.
Yes.
Well, you hate fun.
Well, you can see it in his eyes. Yes, he can go anywhere by himself and have fun.
It would never dawn on me just to go somewhere by myself and have fun.
I
don't know why.
We've been talking about
this. Absurd.
You always have to have either your sons or your wife or me.
I would never think I'm going to go to Universal Studios, have a Duff beer, then I'm going to play a game, win,
solo trip, man,
and then I'll know Homer Simpson.
You've never gone bowling by yourself? I do it every day.
So, were you doing it because I know you still are you still doing tours for families?
I am still taking families around the theme parks. It's not the same as it used to be. It's still a blast. My gosh, I would never put down the theme parks. It's still a lot of fun. We still enjoy it. And with the weather being cool now, it's not nearly as irritating to wear a mask as it is in July when you've got the soccer moms with $800 worth of makeup on and it's all sweating and running off their face into a cloth Louis Vuitton mask.
So, but back to, were you at Universal by yourself, or was it like after you finished the shift?
What does that matter? Why are you trying to yuck on his yum, man?
No, I'm just trying to figure out.
You think it's weird?
All right.
You think it's weird, or you wouldn't have asked the question. You think it's weird that a grown-ass man goes to Universal by himself. You think it's baby.
No. There's, it's just
Don't
so foreign.
sugarcoat it. Ask him what you really want to ask. Are you gay, Joey?
If my fashion sense will tell you 110% I'm not gay. But the truth is you can only wear so many white T-shirts and jeans to a theme park where people are like, no, that dude's straight. He's definitely selling
I knew
upwards.
he was gay. I didn't understand what you said there, so I just answered.
So after, I'm interested because I was talking to someone or
His
maybe
name
some
is
hand-
Travis, and he is your sales assistant.
I'm talking to this guy. He's hanging around.
I was talking to.
He
I
vacuums
call
the
him,
water up.
I call him Brown Eyes. It's a Mandalorian joke.
So I was talking to old Brown Eyes that sits next to me for some reason, and about social media and how you like if it's all luck when you start like actually gaining a mass amount of followers, because I'm like, can you just grind it out and will you inevitably hit one? Or could you grind it out forever, even with good content?
Yeah, I think you could
and
grind
never
it out
hit
forever and not get it.
Yeah. So when you hit that one viral video, did you get a lot of subscribers from that? What was the wave of momentum that came with it?
You nailed it. It's I've had my YouTube channel forever, but it wasn't doing anything. I only had a YouTube channel because all of the cool families that I take to the theme parks, the kids would always be like, "Hey, can I still follow you on Instagram, and can I see you? I want to see the theme parks even when I'm not here."
Right.
And it just thought to myself, if I'm walking around a theme park, everything I do is extremely G-rated. You won't see me cursing on my pages.
Right.
You won't see me doing anything bad, and you need to keep everything G-rated because most of my subscribers are kids, the families I hang out with.
It's also a really good way for you to keep in touch with families that might have really enjoyed you, and then you get a repeat performance. Maybe they want to come back and visit you again.
Nailed it. You are 1,000,000,000% correct, sir. And so it just made sense that, again, I'm at the theme park. Hey guys, it's Joey here. Today I'm going to shake Mickey Mouse's hand,
Right.
Hey guys, Joey here. I'm riding Thunder Mountain today. Or so everything was so fun, and it was just one hand wash the other. If I'm going to have fun, I might as well have fun on YouTube where people can watch me, and apparently it's got a following, and
Nice.
I can't be happier.
Does it? Did you get
That and
contacted?
you wanted to get rid of Remy. Let's be honest.
Are we going to get to
Oh,
what we actually
God,
called
Remy.
for?
I've been
or-
waiting to bring
I
this
don't
up,
know.
but I knew that there was strife within the original show that was Goof Duck Adventures.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
right.
And
There's
I think I speak for the entire show here
Yeah.
when I say that we knew that you were doing a lot of heavy lifting on that program.
Ah.
But I tuned into the latest Remy's Roundtable this morning,
Yeah.
and I have to say, he's doing his fair share, sir.
Okay,
and you
yeah.
better watch out.
Yeah, he's
'cause
coming. to
hell
get
is
you.
coming.
He told us. He said he's like, I got big things planned, and I'm coming to get you. So
Wait, us or
Well,
Joey?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think everybody.
Remy,
We thought everybody.
Remy's got a good heart.
We thought
Remy's
the-
got a good heart.
Us, Joey, whoever's at the park that
Uh-huh,
day.
okay.
Exactly. Yeah, it's really it's more
whatever
of a-
crowd is in front
It's
of.
less of a designated target, more of a bullet spray scenario.
So,
Yeah.
all right, Joey, let's talk
Let's get down to
game
game
shows.
shows.
So, is it okay? So, how
No,
many
wait,
game
we should
shows have you been
Yeah,
on?
we should explain. Joey has
And
been
how-
on multiple game shows.
And how does that work?
Well, it's the first thing to remember, and I'm not saying this as I don't want to put a negative light on anything, but to be on the big game shows, the one where they say, hey guys, we're going to Orlando, Florida to interview 150,000 people that might be able to get on a game show. If you can't do the math and realize that 3 people seeing 150,000 people at even 2 minutes apiece, there's not 300,000 minutes in a day. So you have to understand that most of the people that are on these game shows either have agents or they have seen a casting agent and that person has funneled them through. So a lot of it is because the big, what they would call the cattle call game shows, if you were to pay 100,000 people to be what they would call background actors or stand-in actors or extras at $100 a person, that's a bit pricey. So it's easier to just say, hey, we're having an open casting call, knowing that 150,000 people showing up for free thinking they're going to be on a show is a lot cheaper than paying $1.5 million to have a bunch of people think they're going to, you know what I mean? So the biggest part of it is you got to find somebody that knows the people on the inside that can help get you through.
Okay. Now, Joey, what's your motivation to get on these game shows? Is it just
Don't say fun, Joey. He'll hang up on you.
I'm just saying.
I know where he's leading you.
Is it fun? How can it be fun?
There's pitfalls everywhere.
How can any
Just
grown
whatever
person's
you
motivation
do,
be fun?
Don't even whisper fun. He'll hear it and you'll get hung up on.
No, I'm just saying. I mean, is it all right, this will help my social media following. This is a cool thing to do, some notoriety, fame? What is it, Joey? What?
To be perfectly honest, I've been very, very fortunate my whole life to just have a talent, and I was bullied a lot all the way until even through college. So this is just me trying to finally make up for 22 years of doing nothing with my talent. It's a little bit late in life. I'm 38 years old now, God, but I'm still trying. And so this is just me doing something to make me feel good about myself. That's all it is.
Oh my God!
God, you're a horrible person, Tom. My God!
What?
I'm hearing this man like literally the words coming out of his mouth were literally pieces of his heart. Like actual chunks of aorta coming out of his mouth.
That's fine.
And you're just sitting there
I accept it.
what
are you doing?
What's your motivation?
That's the answer. All right. He wants to.
You didn't feel anything when he said that?
Now, what is the talent?
The talent itself, I've been playing piano for 33 years.
Okay. I thought it was like basketball donkey or something. Like I didn't know.
Yeah. You were going more Jabberwocky, less.
I thought you had a bunch of glow sticks and you were a stick man. I don't know what exactly.
Charles P. Chook.
No. So I'm just trying to work hard and get to the point where I can meet the Tom Van at a bar sometime and have a beer with him. That's the end goal. I want to be that famous that Tom will join me for a beer.
Yeah,
that'll never happen. He
doesn't
like to go out.
You're gonna kill Tom.
Better chances of getting on American Idol and going to Hollywood.
Tom doesn't like fun, so he doesn't go out anywhere.
Now,
Joey, if you were to flip it back on Tom, Joey? What would make you think that Tom doesn't like fun?
I think Tom loves fun. I can't tell if he's such a good actor. I can't tell if it's a bit or not. I think he actually does like fun, and he's just hiding it.
I don't
know.
Joey
knows. Joe knows it. I'm inside my heart. It's.
I mean, I've seen the way he treats his boys.
That was great. Joey knows. Joey knows it inside my heart.
I couldn't even get through.
You did like that. It's like ZZ Top. You were like inside my heart.
One day, me and Joey are gonna jump in a convertible and drive to Vegas, and then win all the money. Everybody knows that. I just gotta plan.
Dude, I'm telling you, we're gonna make a killing, bro. You just gotta let me know when you're free.
Yeah. Then we're down in the basement.
He's never free. You think the crow's gonna let you jump in a convertible with some guys you didn't know, and you're driving across the entire United States to Las Vegas? By the way, you could fly; it'd be a lot faster.
And then I'm gonna be screaming, "Break this guy's knuckles! He's the toothpick guy!"
Okay, what game shows were you on?
Yeah. So it's all singing contests, right, Joey?
Two of them were singing contests, and one of them was a music-based trivia contest.
Okay. So now, how'd you said you kind of know behind the scenes the best chances of getting on the game shows. So you went the agent route and talked to people and found out who to, basically who to get in front of to have the best chances?
I got lucky. I was working at the Hard Rock at the time in Orlando, and this guy was there with a couple of his friends, and I was the tour guide. I was the guy that took you around, showed you the Lennon Room, showed you the Woodstock Room, talked about rock and roll history. It was one of the greatest jobs I ever had. I loved it. And this guy was real cool, but he knew a lot about rock and roll. And one of the things that we do is if you're super cool and you seem like you'd enjoy it, we take you down to the green room. You guys have seen it before. It's downstairs in the basement. I would take you to the green room, and there's a baby grand piano there, and I would sit at the piano and start playing, and I'd have a sing-along with the cool families and stuff. And I started playing piano for this guy, and he was like, "Hey," he goes, how long have you been playing?" And I told him I'd been playing for however long at the time, almost 30 years. And he's like, "I'll tell you what," he goes, "why don't you come over tomorrow?" He's like, "I have a studio. I'd love to record with you and just have you put down a couple of tracks." And the guy gives me his business card, and it's Dr. Chuck Stevens of Breakfast with the Beatles. I literally took one of the Beach Boys on tour and didn't even know who he was. Such a cool dude. And I ended up recording a demo with him, and he put me through to his buddy, and next thing I know, this guy's like, "Hey, we're going to fly you out to California."
Dr. Chuck Stevens is what my wife calls her vibrator.
Hold on,
you mean in the dishwasher right now?
You mean the Dr. Chuck Stevens?
Yeah, the Dr. Chuck
He
Stevens.
lives in St. Petersburg.
I had no
idea.
idea.
I'm joking. We don't know.
Oh, you don't know?
You're not familiar?
I'm sorry.
No, I don't know. You know?
Oh,
I don't know.
Dr. Chuck? Are you crazy?
No, Daniel
I've
doesn't
been
know
a
either.
Chuckster from way back, man.
So
Screaming with Stevens, I did it all.
So basically, then he's the one who helped you get on the show?
Yeah, he called a buddy of his out in California, and they're like, "Hey, we're going to put you on Idol." And I was like, "Wait, it took me a minute because I'm like, this could mean anything. Like, this is one of those stories you hear about where they're going to put me in a room and I'm going to do stuff and I'm going to regret this." And no, they flew me out, and that was it. I couldn't believe it.
So you just were playing piano in front of Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem, and then that guy decides to take you to American Idol. Did they do a backstory piece on you for Idol? And
hold on, I thought the whole thing was you had to audition and work your way up.
Everyone knows
fake.
You stand in line with all of the Asian people with Down syndrome, and then you sing, and then they goof on the Down syndrome people, which they shouldn't do, but they do it. And
that's my favorite part.
Billions of dollars doing it. And then they get to the good people at the end, and you don't care about
So you're saying that the majority of the people that performed on TV were handpicked by the basically agents and talent scouts
Dr.
and stuff?
Chuck Stevens.
If by majority you mean literally every one of them, then yes, the majority.
Oh, okay, all right. So the whole audition process is all a facade.
Bingo.
Okay.
Wow.
So,
Dr. Chuck, you got me again.
Pulling back
now,
the curtain.
which version of American Idol did you get to go on, and did you actually get to get in front of the top three?
So what happened is I got to go. They do a whole round of marketing where they're going to be like, all right, this guy's good or this guy's bad. We can use this guy for a commercial. We can use this guy for the actual show. And what it was for me is I got to do my thing, and they ended up saying, we have something kind of special planned for you. If you don't mind, we're going to keep you back. We see you live in Orlando. This totally works. We're going to put you, there's this thing at Disney's Hollywood Studios called the American Idol Experience, and we want you to be in one of the circulations of videos that we put on the outside there to get people excited for the show. And I was like, okay, that sounds really cool. Am I still getting paid? And they're like, yeah. I was like, then let's do it. I mean, that sounds phenomenal. And I got to be on an episode of this thing where they would show the commercial for it with the guy who actually won American Idol the year that I auditioned.
What year was that?
Season 9. It would have been like 2010-ish, somewhere around there.
Okay. So
that's pretty cool, man.
So, but you never got to audition in front of like Simon Cowell and the Pain Pill Lady and
I think she was gone by then, right?
I don't know whether.
Yeah, no, it was the last season for the original 3, and I got to be there. I got to be in the same general room, but that wasn't where they were headed for me. And I think the reason why is I was actually too old. The cutoff for that is around 25 years old. I think I was 28 at the time. So it was. But it was, I mean, again, great experience. It was fun. I get to add it to, my list of, bucket list cool things I did. So, again, no regrets. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's really cool.
So what other game shows were you a part of?
The next one is where you and I talked about before, where my buddy Clark, we got to be on Beat Shazam, which is Jamie Foxx's game show.
Right.
It's basically the modern version of Name That Tune.
Yeah. And this is the one that never got aired, right?
Oh, no, it got aired, and I lost $1 million in front of God and Country on national television. It was embarrassing.
So
wait a minute. This is the guy you want to go gambling with?
Well, this has nothing to do with gambling. It's a random singing contest. Joey,
if you ask Dr. Chuck, he'd tell you differently.
Listen, Joey can run the numbers real time in his head.
He didn't run that day.
Like a GD computer, that's what you need.
So what happened is, it's the only reason I got to be on that. Again, we had to go through a casting agent. The only reason I got to be on that show is the producer's wife thought I was Chris Daughtry. That is the only reason. When he called me, they thought that Chris Daughtry used a fake name to get on the show, and they called me up and they were like, "We know who you are," and I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And he's like, "We know exactly who you are. We're excited to have you on the show." We go to do the interview process, and they have us on Skype. And there's these two guys that are like, all right, we're looking for a Mr. Mazant and a Mr. Galloway. And we're like, yeah. And the producer goes, I knew it was you. And we're just like, I have no idea what you're talking about, man. I'm so sorry. And then they did the background check, and they found out I wasn't. They said, well, we've already put you through. Do you still want to be on the show? And I was like, yes, I want to be on the show. That's the whole reason I did this. So we got to go be on Beat Shazam.
So they thought you were Chris Daughtry, and you were just using some fake name for... Because I guess they assume Chris Daughtry's an insane person.
I guess it was hilarious. So I got to be on the show, and they even did a big joke about it that didn't get to be on TV, and it was brilliant. Everything that was casted, everything you see on YouTube and on the show, it's all pre-written script. Everything about it's pre-written script. And so they went, and it was the joke whenever they talked to Clark, and Clark's a micro farmer. He's got a chicken coop in his backyard. And that was part of the joke that they used. Jamie Foxx walks over, and they tell him, they said, all right, Clark, Jamie Foxx is going to say, you're going to say, I'm a micro farmer, Jamie. And he's like, what does that mean? They go, just say it, and we're going to edit it. And he's like, okay. And Jamie walks over, and they said, Clark, he goes, I'm a micro farmer, Jamie. And then he just starts rattling off, like, funny lines about chicken and fried chicken and microphones. And then for my joke...
You got a little baby horse on there? What do you got a chicken on there?
Yeah, Daniel's just as good.
Yeah.
It's exactly... It's all
Friday the tiniest little fry daddy you ever seen.
It's on you. I'll send you the link later. I'm telling you, it's exactly what he did. He just started going up and goes, "What? Shut up! What are you judging for?" And then for me, they were supposed to say, "Joey, has anybody ever told you look like Chris Daughtry?" And instead, me and Clark look similar. We have shaved heads and facial hair. I look like fat, short Clark, and he looks like tall, skinny me. And so they were like, he goes, "Excuse me, Clark, has anybody ever told you look like Chris Daughtry?" And Clark goes, well, I've never heard that, but he goes, wait, hold up. What? The other guy, how the hell was I supposed to? And he just starts losing it, and then he comes over to me, he goes, hey, Joey, I have a question. I said, yeah, Jamie. He goes, anybody ever told you look like Chris Daughtry? I go, I've actually never heard that before. He goes, you mother... He walked away.
I like Jimmy Foxx.
He's awesome.
I like him a lot.
How'd you lose $1 million?
Yeah, what song?
So I was supposed to reach it, and this is so embarrassing. Whenever I'm really short. I'm 5'7". I'm very tiny, and the board is huge.
That's Joey. I don't know if you knew
I
this.
am disgustingly short at 5'8".
You did the most my favorite thing in the world, where you're insulting yourself, but by proxy, you're really insulting the person that's 4 inches shorter than you are that you're talking to. It's like if I was like, well, I'm morbidly obese, I'm a fat slob, and EJ's sitting next to me.
You're just slaying people.
I'm just saying. It's like but I'm really throwing shade at the fatter guy next to me.
Right.
If I'm saying I'm a disgusting slob, what do I think? Anyway, congratulations, Joey. This was all worth that one joke.
You're fine. You're fine.
So yeah.
So the board itself is 6 feet. It's huge. It's a giant circle. It looks like an old Simon game. And there's 4 options. And the option I had to jump up and hit it on the top right-hand corner was Nellie's Ride With Me. And I knew it. And I jump to try and reach it, and I lean on the board, and I hit the wrong button, and it was the most embarrassing thing because I'm the only one that knew the song. The other 2 people got it wrong. I jump up to hit the thing. They stopped. After it was over, I raised my hand. The producer comes over. I said, I tried to hit the button. It's obvious. They review it. It took 4.5 hours to shoot that episode.
Oh, my God.
4.5. It was miserable sitting in that room for 4.5 hours. But... So what happened is they look over and they said, we're really sorry, you hit the other button first. It doesn't matter. And I said, but you can tell what I was trying to do. And they said, that doesn't matter. You hit the wrong button. And it was just, and to taunt me, every time I take a family to Universal Studios and we go on Men in Black, that's one of the songs in the rotation, so I hear it and it mocks me every time, and I can't stand it.
So literally, if you would have hit the right button...
So you lost by technicality.
You would have... Because, there's different than, like, if you were up for the $1 million...
That's like when you're on Jeopardy and you don't ask it as a question, answer as a question.
Yeah, because that's actually way worse than... Like, there's one thing if you lose... Like, if you're the $1 million question and you don't know it, and then you're like, I had a chance, I didn't know it.
I don't think there's any shame in that. You don't know it.
Yeah. But if you knew it and then just hit the wrong button and then you're like, no, I went for this. That's a bad. Oh man, that's rough. So it literally, would you have to split it, or was it?
Yeah, it would have been $500,000 apiece after taxes. You're looking at like $300K.
Ooh, man.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Yes, don't worry. I know.
Yeah. That's God, Joey. I mean. And you, Joey, you're a single guy now? You still got your girlfriend?
Oh, no. In February 19th of this year, I will have been happily married 10 years to the same beautiful woman. She's a teacher.
Wow, Tom. I'm glad you're invested in our guest.
Hold on. Why Daniel? Why Daniel didn't know? Like, Daniel knows everything about everybody.
Why? I didn't claim to know it. Why is everybody beating me up? What did I do wrong? I didn't say one effing word.
You're looking at me like, how dare you not know Joey has been married for 10 years?
No, I was looking at you and giving the look. I thought he was single, too. I didn't know he'd been married for 10 effing years.
Yeah.
To the same beautiful woman?
I sent you the picture. She bought her car from Don Mealy.
I don't read anything anybody.
You guys are the worst.
That's why I'm in business with Daniel.
We're the same person. We just, yin and yang.
So, how mad was your wife? Because because one thing, if you lose it and there's no one else involved, you're just like, wow, damn it, I could try to forget
You
that.
also have on an American Idol sweatshirt that you stole from the radio station.
What is the chance of that?
Why are you wearing that?
I have no idea.
You're wearing a young teen girl's American Idol, blue American Idol sweatshirt.
And that was not on purpose.
That got sent to me as a producer. I gave it to Tom because he was way poor at the time and freezing to death, living in his Chevy Love truck.
So what'd your wife say? Because here's, Joey, you're too honest. Because I feel like that is a cringe. I'm like, oh my God, if you had just taken your time and hit the right button, you would have made $300,000 cash. I mean, that would change your life, I would imagine, right? I mean, if you give me $300,000 cash, any of us here, well, your life is taking like at least 2 pegs. I mean, even if you just put that in the bank for retirement, you're like, all right, now I got something.
Beautiful nest egg.
I would make up a different story because it's like at that point you should have won it. Like all. Oh, I know. All you had to do was hit the right button.
And what was the other one? The last one you were on?
The last one I was supposed to be on Pawn Stars this year, actually.
That's right. Yeah.
And what were you going to
pawn?
Yeah, pretend to pawn or whatever it is, because I imagine it's
Honestly,
all fake.
The whole thing is, I thought of all the people in the world that it was going to be. Travis would have appreciated this the most. I have a pretty extensive comic book collection of all CGC graded comics, and they reached out to me because of a post I put up. There was a very popular diss that came out, a meme, I'm sorry, whenever the Avengers movie came out, and there's that line where Tony Stark says, he's got the glove, and he goes, you have no idea what this is worth. And then it cuts over to a picture of Thanos, but he's got Rick from Pawn Stars on it, and he goes, you're right, I really don't know what it's worth, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to call a guy, get him down here, he's going to assess it, I have a buddy, and that was the whole gimmick. I actually have CGC graded, I'm looking at him now, I have the first appearance of the Infinity Gauntlet and all 6 of the Infinity Stones. It's 5 separate comics, and they're all CGC graded. They're worth a decent amount of money. And so they reached out to me, and this season they were going to feature it, and I was supposed to fly out there, and then Clark County, because of COVID law, they decided they're not going to let anybody come out to be on any of these, whatever it is, Discovery Channel shows that isn't from inside the Nevada area. So I'm supposed to be on it next season, but we'll see if it even gets renewed, for God's sake. Isn't it been on like 20 years?
It's not the same since the old man died. And Chum Lee, the new character, they're using this whole new character arc with Chum Lee. Or Chum Lee, excuse me, where he's a surgeon.
What do you mean?
And he has like a high-profile attorney girlfriend, and I'm not buying it.
It's supposed to be,
not buying it. I heard the rumors are going to do a hologram of the old man.
So, Joey, did they tell you like this is legit, kind of like Shark Tank is? That the deal they offer is a actual legitimate deal?
Oh, that's a good question.
So is the Pawn Stars, did they give any backstory? The producers tell you like, hey, whatever deal they offer you is legitimate and like binding, they will follow through, or is it all fake? How does that one work?
It was hilarious. They actually said, the letter was, so how much do you want for these? And I said, well, if you go on the CGC website, this is what these comics are worth. I assume that you're probably going to offer me 30 to 40%. I'm going to counter with 80%. We're going to end up reaching at like a 60% agreement. I need to make enough money to cover the trip out there. You pay for my airfare, my hotel. Honestly, I got no emotional connection to these. I just want to be on TV and say hi to my nephew. And she goes, wonderful.
No, they liked it. I was about to say you're too smart for him, Joey. Like you're too.
Yeah, you gave him the wreck.
Yeah, you got too many toothpicks on the floor. They're like, oh, like they want the yokel.
Yeah, they want a dum dum.
Yeah. Like you already planned it out. Like you knew exactly what they were going to do.
Infinity, what? They want that guy.
You were like, George Washington's teeth, and then
they want the old man who's like, this saber has been in my family for this is General Lee's actual on the battlefield saber. No, it's not. You dumb yokel.
Stamped made in China. It's plastic.
They didn't have plastic.
And then we all laugh at you, and then you kick the cone as you walk out, and we're like, that guy's going to be poor forever.
And then that old man, the tall old giant of a man that wears that Quaker hat, just shakes his head disappointingly at you. Because you should have known.
So, Joey, we got to go, but I got to ask you some gambling stuff.
Please.
When can we crunch the numbers for the playoffs? And I feel like right now is the best time to bet on a team, a Super Bowl winner, and there's a lot of percentages involved.
Who you betting on, bro?
I don't know. I mean, the favorite, like everybody, obviously the Chiefs, but then it's the Bills, and there's a lot of public money and public perception of the Bills being like, oh, the Bills are the best team. But my natural reaction to that is to fade that, because anytime the public is all hot on one team, it's like go against it, and inflates it. So Joey, we'll talk about that, because I need a numbers guy to get my back with this.
Oh, I've got some great ideas. We're missing some of the most obvious margins. People aren't considering that 12 to 13.5% margin that is based simply on the home team. And if there's nobody in the stands cheering for you, I mean, they're putting cardboard cutouts of Elvis Presley and Bernie from Weekend at Bernie's out there. So if you lose that home field advantage, then there is no home field advantage. So that's right there. That's a huge, just over 10% slither you can take right off the top. So if it is a margins of less than 5%, then there you go. They did the math for you.
I've never seen my business partner get a visible erection during a program, but there's a first for everything. Man, oh man, your zipper's about to explode.
You just say when, Tom. I can make time.
All right, Joey.
I don't know what that means.
We'll have a beer together.
Uh-huh.
You can tell me all the dirt about Remy and how that went down.
Tea.
Yeah, because
we heard it was very violent.
Yeah. All right. Well, Joey, plug how people can find your YouTube and how people can contact you if they want to go on theme park tours.
I appreciate it. I'm just very simply at the Joey Mazant on all social media platforms. Mazzant. If you can't spell Joey correctly, I can't help you.
All right, I like that.
Right. God, good thing we don't say that to our listeners.
I
can spell Tom, D-O-M, and D-O-M, and D-A-D-A.
All right, Joey, we'll talk to you later.
Thank you, guys.
Later, man. Be good. I love that guy. He's so great.
It's
so positive and happy. And
I was telling my wife, I was like, "Why? I got all these disabilities, but it doesn't come with happiness." Like sometimes, like I'm just disabled.
Maybe
Sam's
the worst thing.
Maybe Sam's right. Maybe they're not actual disabilities. I mean, we've been holding that one out for
a
while.
Know. Now my wife's fully in.
Oh, she's in.
Oh yeah, she's in. Like,
but is she in for some sort of?
She lets me park in the front of the house.
What? So you have to walk less?
Well, usually her car is closest to the door, but she's like, let me park closer because she's like, you obviously
you get preferred parking.
Yeah.
I gotta put your hazards on.
Yeah, so she's like right at the cusp of full-time nurse.
That's great.
And then just like telling me like over there, it's like play with your plants, that kind of deal. All right, bye.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Dan.
I'm Tom.
Samantha and Butler here. Game shows. We were chatting with Joey a little bit about that. And then you brought up Deal or No Deal.
Is that your favorite?
I remember when there was a time when this pegged the needle, or not just moved the needle. I won't say pegged. This moved the needle. I had a listener come up to me and he's like, "Hey, I got a niece. She lives in New York City. And she flew out to L.A., and she is case number 14 on Deal or No Deal, and you can interview her." And I'm like, give me the name and number. I want to interview, obviously, this big-time celebrity, case number 14. I remember when that moved the needle a little bit.
I just want to quickly mention BDM X-Con in the chat said that America's Got Talent is super popular in prison.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Variety shows. I mean, something different. Everybody can latch onto it.
And you only have like network. Like,
do you want to watch Law and Order when you're in prison?
I would.
TV,
I mean, maybe.
Watch, like repeats of Hill Street Blues from the. No, you don't want to. You want mindless, make it go fast.
By the way, I could interview case number 14 for half an hour just with questions like, how long do you have to hold the case?
All right.
What's inside?
But the real question is anybody want to listen to your podcast? The Tom Van Case Number 14 podcast.
Here, there's interesting things like how
long are you going to hold the case for?
I
That's when we do our tapings, about 26 minutes.
But that's interesting to me. It's like, and then it's like, do you know if you actually have, like, because I would guess that they don't tell the models if they're one of the, like, what
right,
the
what's
number,
inside.
because they could probably then,
give them a hint or something.
Yeah, we'll do a little eye twitch or a nose wiggle to some sort of cheating. So it has to be all. And then it's there's I just got a million questions.
Also in the chat is Butler, or Brown Eyes as you guys call him. He said that his family made it to the final round of auditions for Family Double Dare because of course they did.
No, Butler, get it here.
No.
It's another mark this down for Butler.
Yeah, I'm writing it down.
And our first entry.
Yeah.
Get him all wired up here.
So your family made it to the final audition of Double Dare.
We wasted an entire day waiting in line for auditions, and they like fed us slime and stuff like that.
What?
We didn't. They do all kinds of stupid. This is back in like the 90s at Universal Studios Orlando.
What is this?
Yeah, we burned an entire day at Universal Studios waiting for this stupid audition.
I like that. I like when you said they fed us slime. I want to imagine that they gave you slime and you ate it. You're like, they hate the dumb ones eating it. You didn't know.
Here is some slime for you guys to play with while you wait. Oh,
they're not supposed to eat it. Oh, God.
All right. Well, flush his eyes with water.
Yeah. Settle down, Brown Eyes.
So it's just you wait. It was it back in the day when they
back when they had the Nickelodeon area,
Yeah.
and they were doing like a cattle call, and for some reason my brother and I, we insisted we did it. We had my cousin in town, so we had 2 boys and a girl, and my parents, and it looked like a perfect family, but they didn't like it because the height. You wanted the dad tallest, mom, son, daughter, and
like they wouldn't pick me and Andrea because
Really?
it looked. Yeah, no, that's
So
a real
they
thing.
wanted a slope
Correct.
with
Yeah.
the dad. The
Oh,
slope.
God, you can't say that. I have to cut that out.
Oh,
My
God, I
man.
forgot
What
it.
the hell is
2021.
wrong
My
with you?
God, it was so sensitive.
cancel you.
So, and that you think that's the reason? It was just like
That was the reason. Yeah, that was the reason.
They told you.
They told you. Yeah.
Well, then why did they let you go all the way to the finals?
Well, I mean, it was like, I'd say finals. I mean, I'm sure it was probably like 10 of us in the finals. I mean, they just kind of have a group of people like,
But wouldn't they? I mean, the first thing you do is look at the people. If they didn't fit what you wanted,
So,
why
wait,
make
Are
them
you
use
sure
slime?
this was a real casting call, or were you guys just at the theme park?
Was Joey Mazan showing you
Was he
around?
playing
You
piano?
have to sit on a black couch and then
They gave me some medicine, and I don't remember.
Travis is standing there parting his butt cheeks.
you're like, what business is this? Why do you still have a landline?
There's somebody looking through that window. Don't worry, I'll put up some magazine pages.
So remind me in Double
I'm
Dare.
going to have sex with you while I wear my dress shirt and tie.
Why in Double Dare was it Family Feud style where they'd ask a trivia question and then the family would
You buzz in,
Buzz
and
in.
then you'd answer, and then you could take a physical challenge, right?
Well, I think you dared them wouldn't it like if you had the answer, you dared them, or then there was the double. I don't fucking.
All right, get out of here, bro.
See you guys.
Go eat the slime. I'm like, oh God, Brown Eyes ate all my pencils again. You're like a goat.
I knew it was a mistake to call him in here.
And they're eating.
Travis comes in here, tells us a blatant lie,
Yeah.
and curses and runs out. I love this job, man. I love this job.
You waited in line. You didn't make it to the finals. that involves like some sort of like multiple
Audition
days.
or something,
I don't
yeah.
know.
I love this job. And then he curses, and Butler looks at me. He goes, "Bye-bye."
So
Jesus.
okay,
Fantastic.
best TV game show or at least
Family Feud.
Family Feud. I'm going
Because you
Price
get the
is Right.
funniest answers.
Price is Right is pretty damn good.
As
man.
a kid, my favorite was always Let's Make a Deal because of the zoinks.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
there was always this idea in my mind. I always thought that, I was like, is that old lady really going to drive home in LA traffic with a goat in her back
Yeah.
seat of a Cadillac or something? You know, like,
Yeah,
what are
yeah.
they doing with that donkey, or what are they doing with that old beat up rusted car?
The
That isn't real, right, though? They didn't give those to those people, right? Those are just props?
the horrible prizes. I think there's
know.
some urban legend about a guy that got the the donkey or whatever.
I
and
would
then-
like to think that they would
and then
follow through.
demanded he keep the donkey, and they were like no, and then he's like, it's
Yeah, this is
I don't know if
fake.
that's
Yeah,
true, but there was some. So it was Who Wants to Be a Millionaire that was the quintessential TV game show that upped the prize money first, right?
Well, it was like I would say in recent times, yes.
Like,
I think the original of that would have been like the what was that, $100,000 pyramid?
Yeah.
That started as the $10,000 pyramid, then went to like $50,000 pyramid, then $100,000 pyramid.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think they ever did $1 million pyramid. Maybe they tried to do that. They probably did. I'm just gonna guess. But
they're bringing the weakest link back.
Yeah, I was gonna say weakest link was I think your first, and then
that was before Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, right?
Right, I believe so. And then it was Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and because you had that one snarky lady, not the Jane lady that does it now, the other lady who was
British
very good.
lady.
Yeah, she was very biting, very almost rude, and I liked it. Then you had Regis Philbin.
Right.
Bless his soul. He did Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
Yeah.
Then it got taken over by that other lady. But and then there was Deal or No Deal. Then you got the one now that's got old what's his name? Who's the guy? Podcast guy. Chris Hardwick.
Oh, yes, that's right.
Yeah, you got his show. So those are like the new ones now. But Deal or No Deal, I think, is gone. But the new ones now, I think, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
But do you count like stuff like Survivor?
No,
I mean,
I never count
technically
those.
It's a game show.
It is, but it's more like reality TV to me.
Yes, that's.
But you win a prize.
Yeah, but you're not watching it to see people win a prize. You're watching it to see people
suffer,
either have sex with each other or to yell at each other.
Yeah, the drama.
What about Fear Factor?
That's more of a game show to me. There's less drama. They're not living together.
Imagine in 2003, like you're telling your buddy, like, "Hey, Rogan's gonna get paid $100 million for his own podcast." You would be like, "I'd bet my life against it," right?
Yeah, you would.
So, what's that new show? I saw it only because the only commercials now I watch are in football games because it's live TV. But I saw a commercial for a new show that's like America's Got Talent, but it's America's Got Talent with extreme
America's Got Extreme Talent.
Yeah, and all is extreme stunts. So it's like 3 celebrity judges. I don't know who they are, whatever.
God.
And then it's like
everybody knows it's going to be Kim Jong,
Jenny
McCarthy, and I don't know who the last one is.
And then some musician,
Robin Thicke.
Yeah. And then it showed like Gravedigger jumping something, and
they vote on that.
Yeah, it's all extreme stunts that they perform in front of the judges, and then they have to.
Oh, that's extra stupid.
Yeah, I know. But I think we are entering the dawn of the worst, dumbest TV because of COVID and the restrictions of filming.
Yeah.
That they are forced to put out content, and they're like, well, what can we do safely? Like, no audience, 3 judges, and then like someone jumping a monster truck.
Yeah.
It's like this is going to be the lowest common denominator.
We've gone from Masked Singer to Masked Dancer.
I know.
Now.
Terrible.
Yeah, which is as dumb.
Which is bad.
Yeah. Because the Masked Singer is like, okay, I can somehow get a tiny hint just from their singing voice, hopefully, but dancing, there's no way.
Just the body type, depending on the costume as well. Yeah.
Yeah, you're big. You got some big eagles and dancing. You're like, it could be anybody. It could be Tom Hanks or anybody. Who is it? I don't know. It's just dancing. Anybody can dance like anything. Like,
anybody can't dance like anything.
Bill Duke? I don't know. You're not just saying
Bill Duke.
I know, but it's like, how am I supposed to tell by what like a mascot dancing? Like, this is impossible. Anyway. What's the extreme monster truck jumping?
I don't know. I'm trying to find it.
It's something, and I was like, "This is stupid." And I'm mad that they even created it.
I am the Jackal in our Twitch chat room, twitch.tv/TomandDanLive. He mentioned a show that me and Andrea, I actually got Andrea watching this, and sometimes Maisie will actually sit and watch with me. It's called Forged in Fire, and it's that show where the guys make their own knives and swords, and I love it.
And then they cut the rope, and then
the last test
chop the golf ball.
No, the best one that I saw was they were making like this type of blunt-styled metal. It's like a machete, but think of it like being thicker.
Okay.
And your old cash register in the Old West, they'd use a piece of leather over the top, so it was almost like they'd roll it over with leather, and they'd seal it, and then the money would be in there. So you would need something very, very sturdy and almost stout, not necessarily sharp, to bash it open to steal. on a stagecoach.
Okay.
So these guys had to make these type of like Old West cash register bashing things. So then they had these cash registers and that fat guys over there trying to destroy their night by bashing into the cash register. I'm high. I'm on the moon. I'm watching this. I'm like, this is pretty good. Fat guys bashing the cash register, and even Maisie's watching.
You know, I want all this now. I want the monster truck. Bash the cash register. Just let's bye-bye. Welcome back to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Samantha and Butler are here, and we are going to continue with your voicemail messages.
So, real quick, if you want to be involved with our texting service, just text BDM to our show number, 844-866-6326, and you'll receive an auto reply saying you're in, and then that's all you need to do. Yep. You could text us questions and stuff. We'll answer back, or we'll text you when, like, for instance, we got a new hat that me and Daniel both really like coming out.
Oh, I forgot about that. That's going to be here next week.
I don't even know what you guys are talking about.
Oh, you
got to show me.
We went through a lot of different designs, and then we were...
Oh, this is going to be cool.
Yeah. So when it comes out, we'll send everybody a text like, hey, hat's out, just so you guys know. So for those of you who can't catch everything that goes on in the show, the texting service is a good way to not miss anything, because we'll text you all the pertinent information.
And we know a lot of you guys don't want to be on the old Facebooks and the old Instagrams. I get it. Those places can be toxic at times, but this, we promise you, will not be. You will only get very, very sparingly important information. So this is like, for those of you that have told me before via email, hey, I don't know when the new stuff comes out because I'm not doing the Facebook thing. I get you. I completely understand.
That's why we decided
completely understand. In fact, we might go that way at some point, sometimes too. Who knows?
And we'll probably text once every 3 weeks, or maybe once a month, or so. It's not like you're gonna be inundated, but you won't miss anything. Nope. So just sign up to that. So let's do some voicemail.
All right, Kenny. Kenny who does songs for Weird Job Wednesday. He's our reigning champion. I happen to like that man a lot. He wanted to try and explain syndication to you, Tom, because you don't understand it.
Tom and Dan and Sam and Trav. Hey guys, it's Kenny, and I was listening to Tom talk about, the whole syndication argument, and if everything's available on the app, why aren't people doing that? I think the issue is, Tom's partially right. I think the issue is more so the availability of unlimited data. And here's why I say that, because the average person that gets in their car, if they don't have unlimited data, they're not going to want to spend their phone's data to stream an app for any show that they want. They're just going to do whatever their car comes with, which is more than likely in the radio. So
he's not wrong.
Who doesn't have unlimited data in 2021?
I know a lot of people that don't. Yeah. I got a lot of... It's the number...
to me too. I'm like...
I know, but it's the number one complaint that I get on the front lines of our app.
Interesting.
Is that I'd love to listen to you guys consistently, just by not necessarily loading the show, but just streaming it, like just pinging your server and just streaming it. But it kills my data. So then I have to tell people, well, you're just going to have to go and download it from like your home when you have Wi-Fi and then listen to it that way. But a lot of times people don't have enough space. Sometimes their phones are too small. Like my wife's phone, I think it's like 6 gigs. I'm like, 6 gigs? I got like a half a terabyte on my phone. Where have you been?
I know. I see your point. I know there's still some people that just listen, turn on the radio, whatever, and then and there's also the business aspect of local advertisers when you have harder to. I don't know if they got that science down or figured that out, where if you're streaming a show,
the dynamic ads.
Are you getting the ads from the region that the show is in, or are you getting local ads put in? They're
starting
to figure it out.
Yeah, there are some companies that are dialing that in pretty well. So you'll see more of that.
Yeah, but my whole point was eventually, I'm making fun of companies because at one aspect it's like, hey, listen to the radio, and then another aspect they're like, download this app and listen to the app, and like stream us.
Yeah.
And then, but if you're promoting to stream you, then I'm guessing that's where you see everything going, and therefore would render regular mass distribution of your show where each region pays,
it's obsolete at that point. But no, to go along with what you're saying and to show you the part of this, because I think we might have found the one thing that you and I are actually interested in, but for different reasons, is I am extremely interested in the levels of compression and the data rates that they use, because, the people that are going to win, and they kind of handled this a little bit, I believe, in the HBO show Silicon Valley. The people that are going to win this tech war or whatever we're doing right now are going to be the guys that can take our podcast and get it to your ears the fastest, the smallest, and with the best quality. And those little algorithms of compression and taking that big piece of data and squishing it into nothing and that's the most important thing.
That was the whole premise of Silicon Valley.
Yeah, that is the most important thing, is being able to, but being able to hold on to the integrity of that file so it doesn't sound like garbage. Because, we run at, I don't mind, I think we run ours at what, 96, Sam?
Yeah.
kbps is what we run.
Yeah.
The industry standard would be 56, right? But then if you throw music elements in there, then it starts to get fuzzed out. It starts to sound like crap. So I have found that 96 to me works. It's the perfect algorithm and happy medium for it sounding both good with music and good with talk.
Okay,
and in stereo, not mono.
All right, so let me ask both you guys.
See, I geek out about stuff like that too, just to make you feel better about when you're going on about gambling.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you guys this question then. So I've been looking and reading some articles about like people. Me and my wife bought Facebook stock a long time ago when like a couple $1,000 when her dad he's really invested in his Facebook stock a while ago. Anyway, long story short, her dad was like, hey, you should sell your Facebook stock for now because they're going through this whole thing. First, they obviously Instagram, they're saying it's a monopoly. They need them to sell it off, which is not the worst thing for Facebook. They'll get a bunch of money for it. But also there's this other thing where Apple products, have you heard that story? Where like Apple's saying that they want to make it, and I may be butchering this, and this is very general. I'm not that.
We're not an info show. We're a dumb show.
I'm not an expert in this, but
we're a dessert show.
Essentially, from what I read, it looks like Apple wants to make it on Apple devices the option for you to somehow opt out of whatever software Facebook uses to basically map all the information that that Facebook uses to therefore sell ads to you. You know what I'm saying? Like the whole, hey, I searched for shoes and now all I get is Facebook ads.
Yeah, Facebook is telling businesses it has no choice but to comply with upcoming app tracking transparency feature for the iOS 14 release. That's what you're talking about.
So a bunch of, like in the industry, people are like, oh, this could be really bad for Facebook because therefore if they lose all that information, they're not going to be able to sell it, and that's how they make a lot of their money, blah, blah, blah. But I started thinking, I was like, do you think, and this is the question I'm going to ask you guys, like you remember how when basically the internet and became super popular and then everybody just started stealing music and then they Metallica tried to fight back.
Oh, I got Napster, a letter. Yeah. I got a Napster. I still have it.
And they mounted a tiny fight back, but then it was super. Everybody was doing it, so it was like it's kind of like saying Super Bowl. Like it's just.
But didn't they get one guy? Did they? Because
they sued a couple
got like some teenager in his grandma's basement.
I loved those. I love those stories where I heard these things where it's like they found that one teen and he downloaded one song and they just ran him up he's in jail for 45 years.
Yeah, you're right. And they tried to make an example, trying to scare everybody. And I feel like what it did is like people, the whole world's like download it and slow down. They're like, what the? No, screw it. And then just
that's what we did.
And then basically
we stopped cursing on the podcast for when they told us to take the podcast down. Then we just and then we're back to cursing.
And then basically technology and the internet changed societal norms, and no more. The people are like, well, I'm not paying for music anymore. All free, right? Same thing that happened with porno, like the porno
movies
sites
in general too.
Yeah, and then so
especially now.
So going back to this whole thing with Facebook, do you think that we've now gone so long, because it's been years, where we now are directly marketed to by the things we search for and the things we say in front of Alexa and stuff, that if we try to opt out of that we're not going to like what comes with opting out of that, because then all of a sudden we're getting weirdo like commercials that have nothing to do with us, and we're not getting marketed the stuff that we like. You know what I'm saying? So then you're like, all right, what happened to people actually will like the fact that
No,
they're being monitored
I see
and
what he's
directly
saying,
marketed
but they don't
to.
know that they like it. They're going to complain about it.
Yes.
But they
Yes.
they haven't even had anything. You don't even know what different is.
Well, because
And then you're going to get that different, and you're going to wish that you were getting those force-fed ads
Well,
making you fat.
the reason why I say this is I thought about this the last cruise we were on. This is how I was sitting in my room and I was
Well,
watching.
that's when you were hacking everybody's personal information sitting in your room and reading.
But I was watching just some random network TV news, and then the commercials that were playing had nothing to do with any products that I would even. They were like. Like
Uterine
old people,
mesh.
yeah, like all these things that I wasn't interested in.
Have you taken the digestive drug Nexium?
And
you could get a benefit.
And I remember for a split second thinking, I don't, this is weird. Why aren't I seeing anything I'd be interested in? And then that's when made me think, oh, I bet the entire society is not going to because everybody was in an uproar about the fact that they were monitoring, but they were taking things that you search and things that you say in front of Alexa and all this stuff, and then marketing to stuff that you, because I kind of enjoy getting ads for boat stuff and any plant stuff and stuff that I'm into, right? I
get a lot of ads for stuff I can't afford.
Right.
It's I'll go to that site that you and I both like. I'm forgetting, I haven't been there in a minute. Uncrate.
Yeah.
And then I'll look at luxury yachts, not lots. I can't talk. I'm tired. Luxury yachts, and then I'll look at fine leather goods and Louis Vuitton luggage and all this garbage I can't afford. And then all the ads I get are that, and I'm like, this is terrible. I wish I got the poor people ad. Give me the stuff I can afford.
Well, I'm just saying that I don't know if we're going to go back now, because I think...
Yeah, but do we really need to be marketed to? If you're interested in something, can't you just look it up yourself?
Here's the world's dumb, and I can relate to dumb people because I am dumb.
You're the blade of dumb.
Yeah, so then I kind of... And believe me, I understand the other side is hey, I don't want... these companies monitoring what I'm doing and stuff, but then it's that argument what am I doing? I don't give a damn who's looking at it. Right. And so then I feel like there's the vast majority of people that on paper they would say I don't want anybody looking at me, but they enjoy getting marketed to with products that they actually
because they don't know they enjoy it.
Exactly. And
when
when you take it away, I think those same people are going to be oh, disappointed that now, and then opt to go back to it.
Okay. Yeah.
So
I can see that.
If Facebook does start losing money because of things like this, I think you might have a point when you said you thought that they're going to start charging for Facebook because they're going to have to make up some of that money.
Yeah.
Well, would you guys, if Facebook came to you right now and said hey, for the price of let's say an XM Sirius satellite radio, so I'm trying to put something comparable, for $35 a year, you can have a premium Facebook experience where you can control these type of things. The free one, you have to opt in. Sorry, that's the way it's going to be. Would you guys pay it?
No.
For business.
I probably would for the business.
But
I mean,
obviously
I would have to,
for the business, yes, but for personal, no. Now, I'm going back to my theory. If they did say after 10 years, we're going to charge you a storage fee for the data, anything after 10 years or whatever, you got to pay for us to store. I do think I would pay for that instead of trying to go back and save all my pictures and stuff. Let me ask you guys about another thing. So, my buddy Porno Joe, which I don't know what made him think of this, but he was telling my wife, you have to save all your passwords in one particular area, that if something happened to you, that people could find for your Facebook and all your social media and stuff for their kids. Because if your kids or your family members don't know your passwords to your social media, there's no way to get into them unless you have a designated, how they make if you die. Big Tim made me his my
mom made me hers. So
yeah, but a lot of people don't do that. But apparently, so say if your mom dies and she didn't tell you her Facebook password, there's no way of getting it. They won't give it to you.
Right.
No, that happened to me.
Yeah.
I mean, and
then all pictures, and if you're iCloud,
we had to guess it. We got lucky.
Really?
Yeah.
So then
that's a true story. We didn't know how to get in there. Didn't you had to do that too, Butler? Yeah, we had to go. You know what we did? We had other passwords for other things.
Right.
And we were like, well, got to be a variation of this. And that's just my wife being internet detective.
There was a docuseries about a murder, and the son had to like hack into his mom's account and find all these messages that kind of led him in a direction to investigate who murdered his mom.
It's not a bad idea, but I mean, because it kind of sucks that social media is that like seemingly that important.
It just seems like if somehow you were able, like, okay, say your mom dies, right, and then he had all the pictures.
I'm listening.
Or whatever it is, like a family member dies and they had all these pictures.
Yeah, but you can go on their profile and just save them yourself.
I guess you're right. Because
why can't I? But
you just can't access like their messages.
Why can't
I
send an email or a designated letter to Facebook with a long-form death certificate and say, give me the damn...
Because I guess they would have to... it would be like any other thing. They're like, this is... even if you're family, if there's no legal explanation...
Because you don't really own it.
If the will...
They own it.
Yeah. And then therefore... Yeah. But I guess iCloud, he was talking about pictures on your computer and things like they could be locked out and be, not available for your family.
I'm not really sentimental with pictures much. That's maybe a part of me that's different than you even. I think you're even more sentimental about pictures than even I am. Like any pictures that I had from my youth, any of that, it's all I just...
Yeah, I don't like that.
I just throw it on the trash. I don't even care.
Sometimes I'll go back and look at, posts and videos from about the kids and things like an old, but I'll never go back and like look. I got
when
books.
You were a kid, or
I got books of old pictures from years, and then I never go back. It's like wedding photos. Yeah. Like, have you gone back and looked at your wedding photos?
I have some hanging up in my house. So,
yeah, but I'm saying like the quintessential book.
Up, but I don't look at the book.
We didn't make a book.
Don't.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you're wasting money. Yeah. Don't make a book. I found my mom's book when they were cleaning out last weekend, and she had bought another one to redo hers because hers was falling apart. Mm-hmm. Her wedding book. I just threw it all in the trash. I'm kidding. I kept it. I just wanted to shock you.
Also, in my wedding, I decided for whatever reason, partly I think I'm special needs.
Why did you wear the Air Jordans? I thought that was just so weird.
I'm getting dressed in like amongst all
your groomsmen
or whatever, and then tradition. One of them had a big like thing of like LA dip or whatever, like hair.
LA dip.
LA looks?
It's LA looks.
You used LA looks to get married?
What is LA dip?
Dude, LA looks?
That is Dollar Tree
why
gel.
didn't you just use Bedhead from Winn-Dixie?
I don't know if it was that. It was a big thing of
look, everybody,
hair
it's
gel.
old Manic Panic over here.
And then was it bright blue?
I know that, but I put it in my hair. But I never wear hair gel.
Is it Dep?
Maybe it was that. Yeah, maybe it was Dep.
No, it was LA Looks.
Yes, Dep and LA Looks at 35 cents for a gallon of that
and
garbage.
Then I put it all in my hair, and then
oh my!
And then it
God.
looked.
Did you give
my bangs?
Did you do the curls like Adam Murray?
Because remember, I had the stooge, but with the Dep.
The
Depped your stooge.
He had a Stoogey Depp, which is his acting name.
It turned into string, like because the hair clumped together, so it was like. My forehead was behind bars.
You had a butt cut. It was almost a butt cut.
Yeah, but it was just bars of hair in my forehead. And then Chris was like, why the hell did you put that in your hair? You never do this. I'm like, I don't know.
Oh my
I panicked and just I saw it there. And
nobody helped you at your wedding?
Oh my God, I'm panicking.
Well, my wife, they weren't.
What about the guys that were in there with you?
They are a bunch of idiots.
They all wear Dep. Porno Joe's a Dep man through and through.
It was the greatest. Porno Joe.
Porno Joe. I mean, every time I've seen Porno Joe, his hair, he always goes for a Miami Fast Talking wet look. Never a dry look. It's a Miami Fast Talking wet look. Give me the wet look.
They all don't know what they're doing, and
I want you to make me look like a slimy snake man.
And my shirt was 3 big.
Oh, it's huge.
The armpit was down. I'm not joking.
Why?
The armpit. It was like
you didn't get fitted.
He did, but he got fitted by the Three Musketeers, and they gave him a Three Musketeers poof shirt.
My shirt looked like I was a wingsuit flyer.
He looked like Rocky Squirrel from Bullwiggle. It was ginormous.
I don't know.
I
don't know what the hell.
I want to look at your wedding photos.
I'm not joking. You'll laugh because it's exactly what I said.
Where are they? Are they on her site? on our webpage? On our Facebook?
Yeah. You'll see them. Go on our Facebook.
Okay, I'll get another voicemail while we're. I mean, I'm not. We're doing a show, and I just want to go goof on your wedding.
No. You'll see.
All right,
it's so bad.
Here's a new. We'll do it.
I don't know why I did any of that.
The Depp. Let's bring the Depp in. Let's do Depp Friday. Let's all do our hair in Depp.
Where do they even still sell that?
Oh yeah, they do.
Okay.
Absolutely,
right.
absolutely. As long as.
I don't know what year is it? 2007.
As I believe, as long as you have men who like the fast talking wet look, and they have jet black hair. They'll do that thing where they'll put the Depp in their jet black hair, and then each hair follicle will then join up with 30 of his friend hair follicles and make 100 tiny, larger hair follicles, so I can see their entire scalp, but it's like a series of trees. Do you know what I'm talking about? I'm like, what the hell is that?
I can see through the
yeah,
hair.
it's like a forest. I'm looking for Slender Man to come running through it and chop my face.
You can see your scalp.
But I can see your hair, too. You would have more hair if you wouldn't bunch your hair into 100 little patches of trees. All right, this is our next voicemail.
Hey, this is Hercules, and I'm listening to the episode where you're talking about playing.
Oh, this guy's name is Hercules.
Okay.
I never.
Is it really Hercules?
It's really him. I can tell by the light voice.
Hey, this is Hercules, and I'm listening to the episode where you're talking about playing Cyberpunk 2077 with your daughter. Just to let you know, before you enter the game, when you're in the main menu, you can go into the settings and you can turn off nudity, and it will get rid of all of the inappropriate points in the game so that you can play with your family without having that embarrassment. For future reference.
There you go. Yeah, you can turn off the nudity.
Hercules, you ruined your name by being a nerd. You could have been born like a lineman for the Bears, and it would have been like that. The quintessential ironic name. You're a super big, strong dude.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's me, the Crusher of Worlds. Just call it in.
You ruined the name.
What's up? It's me, Stan, the Global Dominator. Just kind of to give you some information on like video games.
So you can turn off the nudity in probably all games.
Yeah, that's a good game, man. I'm really enjoying that game. I am.
Is it like Grand Theft Auto?
Yeah, it's very much like Grand Theft Auto. It's like post-apocalyptic Grand Theft Auto. But what's very weird is they put a lot of stuff in there that kind of goes along with a lot of the conspiracies that are floating around even right now. Like Texas, in the video game, Texas has seceded from the United States because they don't want to be part of a global economy. So you see like tinges of like, okay, those people would be like more conservative people that definitely don't want some sort of a socialist. So they kind of interweave that. Then they interweave like our dependency on like computers and corporations. People are getting chipped and they're putting like, you can have like robotic arms and you can have missile launchers and change your brain, change your eyeballs and stuff like that. We get to a point in society where people are now upgrading their eyes, upgrading their ears for super hearing. And it's like commonplace. Because if you don't chip, they call it chipping yourself. If you don't chip yourself, you're almost like, what's wrong with you? You're not into technology. You're an old fuddy-duddy. You're an old Facebook old man.
Which would probably happen in real life.
Probably will happen, right?
Think about it. You get 50 years from now or whatever it is, 100 years, and like Elon Musk was talking, like he has that brain chip that is going to obviously get better and better, and then soon it's like you have the chip, you don't, and the people that have the chip are probably going to be thinking the chipless people are idiots.
But they address the downfall and the cons as well. Like some of the things in here, the balance, just to explain this to you as a layman, for those of you that are playing this game, you don't need to listen to me, a novice gamer, explain it to Tom. But the cool thing is they have like cyber psychosis that they talk about, which I actually believe is a real thing that we're dealing with right now with our cell phones and our computers and the fact that we're living these seemingly virtual lives, So they deal with it. And these people that are being chipped, you go around the city fighting these cyber psychos that their chips, their hardware has malfunctioned. And you have to go and like either capture them or kill them and kind of regain some level of normalcy within the city. Also, the police is privatized a little bit. They'll hire you to help them out because they're underfunded and they don't have enough people helping them out. So you can like join up with them and fight and capture these guys, and then the police will break you off a little piece of the action because they're underfunded or at least understaffed. It's cool. I mean, but there are variants in it. There are lines within it that could that are following truth. Art and reality, emulating itself.
You know how like arranged marriages, like statistically,
I used the wrong word there, but I'm tired.
Have you heard that like statistically arranged marriages last longer?
Yes.
It's probably a small sample size, so I don't know how they do it.
Yeah, but there's also, the fact that it's an arranged marriage already, I'm not really sure how much choice there is for the woman to.
Listen, no. But my point being, this is crazy, barbaric, old school, weirdo thing, and
so technically they stay together, but
nobody would want that, and it could be a cultural thing that you're not leaving. But if there's something behind that, I wonder if there's like one day when the whole world's dust, some alien's gonna be like, you should have never let humans make their own decisions. They're idiots. Like they're gonna kill themselves because they need to be controlled.
You can see the chipping thing, how it gets out of control. Like in the game, you can kind of see it, like the pros and cons of like if you add that much stuff to your body, it's not necessarily going to help you. Like it's weird how they. But it's really really fun. I've been on the BDM gaming page, and if you're a BDM, you can join that page as well. And I've been on there telling people I've been playing it and trying to check off as many missions as humanly possible.
Yeah, because it does seem like individually we're all pretty rational. You start getting groups, and you're like, oh, no.
Most of my friends that are exact opposites of me in any belief, if I'm one-on-one with them, they're great people. That is a fact.
But then you're like, oh, no. God, take the chip.
100, oh, man.
You're blowing it.
Oh, stop.